You ever seen a hero change into a villain, or a villain sacrifices dark image to save the children? How about a woman birthed in hurricanes with a kinetic vision? A person fighting to protect humanity from becoming victims? Have you ever seen a mutant teach his powers in a school? You a vigilante land to be the exception to the rule? These truths flash like every antler breeding justice is a tool. So equality can find the needed strength to overrule. Remaining on beat like the Hill Street Blues. Copy comics daily as the planet writes the street news. Find Clark and Lewis, investigating leads, collecting clues. Where the K Crusader wars corruption from beneath the avenue. So many stories designed to capture you like a travel do. Drawn so masterful, they'll dazzle you with skills unimaginable. Like a fanatic. Said it's Dash Wars for the love. It's how we stamp dopeness on the channel. 6 layer number 1. 6 layers. Nobody does it better. Like Denzel in the comic realm, I'm the bone collector. Building with the artifacts, graphics, applying pressure. Using creative talents is how we bring it all together. 6 layers. Legendary business minds paying homage to the comic book artists, the writers, the vast knowledge shared in all our projects. Trust, we keep it popping. Showing love to our fans, it's the best believe we're never stopping. 6 layers. And best believe we're never stopping. Better with the legends, copy the hottest comics on the market. The greatest minds dropping mind-boggling stories off there. Keep an imitator's career in a coffin. 6 layers.
It is Friday. It is Stash Wars Live. What up, fam? Mike the 6 layer chilling with Mark the Honorable Villain. What up?
What's up, man? What's up?
We are kicking it, man. It's another Friday, another fabulous Friday. Before we get started, y'all, as y'all load up in, please smash that like button. Smash the like button, and hopefully you are already subscribed to the 6 layer station. It's Stash Wars Live, like I said before. And we got another dope week in to cap off. And we're just going to just start it off and just kick it things off with the Stash Fam picks of the week, Mark. And you were on the streets last week, and last week was Superman Day, and that was being celebrated pretty much all around the world. But you happen to be at the epicenter of DC Comics, right? Yeah. And you were able to see Superman artists, prolific Superman artists, and let us know what your experience was like.
Yeah, so they didn't give a lot of details about this. They kind of just said show up to the Warner Brothers store at the Warner Brothers studio. And they said that Scott Koblish is going to be there. Dustin Nguyen's going to be there. John Bogdanov. And I was able to see Koblish, Dustin Nguyen, and then we had an interview midday with Sabur, which is coming out next week. And then I had to leave for a little, and Jim Lee showed up. Right. And that was a nice surprise. And Jim Lee showed up with his heavy bodyguards, and I was kind of a little scared to talk to him, so I missed that opportunity.
So you mean bodyguards? It was like Jim Lee surrounded by like multiple giant people,
like 2 or 3. Yeah, I've seen some of them before. I went to the Joker Folie à Deux premiere, and I met one of them at that time, and they yeah. So if you see Jim Lee on the street, yeah, usually I guess he has bodyguards around him. But what else was I gonna say? So I showed up too late.
Who else was there? It wasn't just Jim Lee, even though we're showing Jim Lee. Who else was there?
So like an artist, or like for artists?
Yes, sir.
So I said Scott Koblish, he was first. He was doing sketches first, and the lines were getting really long, man. So and Scott Koblish was doing really detailed sketches, and his line kept on getting longer and longer. Dustin Nguyen, I showed up, or as soon as I got Dustin Nguyen, I left, and I was one of the first in his line, and he was doing good sketches too. And I showed up later for John Bogdanov, and Bogdanov, and then
I swear, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta write it 100 times, man. Write it 100 times, dude.
And he was doing really detailed sketches, man. and like his line was capped. Like I showed up before his end time, and there and I think, dude, and I think he went over maybe like an hour or something over his time, just to finish the people that were in line. And I talked to his wife a little, and she was like, "Yeah, he doesn't like to disappoint his people, you know." And so I didn't get a chance to get a sketch from him. So
And
I
these
was
were all freebies?
yeah, they're doing free for everyone. I think they were just doing Superman though. I think it was like they're trying to make it an assembly line. They're like, just do Superman, no requests, go
This
go
dude
go.
Scott Koblish, he banged this out, man. He banged this out, dude. Like this
Yeah.
is pretty fresh.
Scott's a great
Man.
artist, man, and I think he's doing a lot more DC stuff. So you saw that he's doing the connecting covers for the history of the DCU with Mark Waid, right?
Yeah. That's
And
coming out what this summer, right?
I think so, and he's breaking another record with that one. So you know, he said this. I think this is the biggest one that he's done yet. So we talked about him breaking the first record with the Deadpool covers, and then he went on to do the X-Men one, and then I think he did another one. I think he did a Fantastic Four one, and then now he's doing the a DC one. So now he's moving over to DC. He's doing a lot of free stuff. A lot of different stuff.
Let's take a break and give a shout out to the Stash fam. SCG in the house, Southern Comic Geek. Tino 73 in the place to be. What up, man? He's saying what up. Space Case Collectibles saying what up. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We are kicking it, and we're talking about Superman Day, Jim Lee, John Bogdanoff right here. And he was sketching. We just saw Scott Koblish. And speaking of which, guys, we're about to do this quick little switch here. Mark, do you have that Koblish sketch?
Yeah, so I have Scott Koblish, the one that you saw in the video. So you're gonna let him know what the details are?
Yeah, the details about this. Keep it up. Keep it up. We got Dustin Nguyen, Scott Koblish, Batman Day sketches. Okay. I mean, Batman Day. That's how much of a Batman fan. Superman Day sketches. We got Scott Koblish on the left, Dustin Nguyen on the right. You know, we've been talking about Dustin Nguyen for the past month. We are, ladies and gentlemen, we are giving these away tonight. We are giving these away. And just so you guys know, we are giving this away. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. Hashtag, oops. Oh, yeah, we need entries. We need entries. I thought I drew it already. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. We are giving these out tonight. Keep those up, Mark. Keep those up. These are going to be given away tonight. Comment hashtag Stash Wars Live to win these great Superman Day. So this is Superman Day 2025. You had to have been there to get these. Okay. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. Our magic number of the day. Oh, see, we wasn't added to the stage.
Come on,
there
Mike.
Jeez. I hate it when I go from the media back, it kicks us out. I absolutely hate it. I'm sorry, guys. As I was saying, hashtag Stash Wars Live. We are giving away Scott Koblish, Dustin Nguyen, Superman sketches. Superman sketches from Superman Day. We need 15 entries to unlock. We have 3. We have 4 people watching. Let's use our hashtags tonight. Let's unlock. We got 2. This is from Superman Day. Okay, so only the people that were at the Warner store were able to get these. Okay, so these are, unique sketches.
And they got a cool backing too.
Yeah, and they commemorate. That's the other thing. Stay there, stay there, stay there.
It's got a cool backing.
Yes. So yeah, they're on these backings. They're on these backings, guys, and they commemorate the holiday, Superman Day. So to win this week's prize, it is hashtag Stash Wars Live. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. So yeah, Superman Day. That's crazy. I want to get back to the footage though, because I want to give people opportunity to see it, and feel free. Like you said, you saw Dustin Nguyen. What was going on with Dustin Nguyen?
Dustin Nguyen, he showed up a little late, and then they split off the line. He was signing about a little later than Scott Koblish. But people were still in line for Scott Koblish.
Hold on, Mark. I got a comment from IG. Do you know a Navarro comic? Do you know what that is? This gentleman, David Roca, 1970. How valuable? I don't know. I never heard of it, brother. I was responding to him on IG. But go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry. You talking about Dustin Nguyen.
That's okay. That's okay. So he was saying. So I was saying that Dustin Nguyen signed a little bit later. People jumped from the Koblish line, which was pretty long, and then they went to the Dustin Nguyen line, and then so that line grew too. So I'm pretty sure those guys were signing all day, doing sketches all day. So as long as the time allowed them. And I saw that Dustin brought some books for John Bogdanov. So he's a fan.
You said Dustin bought books to get signed?
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, he brought some books to get signed. So even when you're a creator, you're a fan, man.
Man, that's pretty dope. Make sure you guys are putting in your entries. Tonight we're still trying to unlock 15 entries for 2 Superman Day sketches. Go ahead, Mark. 2 Superman Day sketches. Scott Koblish and Dustin Nguyen. We are giving these away tonight if we unlock 15 entries. Man. Fantastic. So Superman Day and Stats Man Picks a Week. You were there. This was last Friday in Burbank, California. I showed some of the stuff. I didn't really have time because it was right on the fringe of me going live last week.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, you know what? We'll just load them up for this week and then show and break things down. But this is the type of stuff that I like. So when people say, now, at this same event, correct me if I'm wrong, at the Warner lot, they were showing of the Superman movie. Was it the original Christopher Reeve?
And so, yeah, I forgot to mention that they had a special tour that day for people that bought tickets. It was a Superman Day tour, so you got to see memorabilia from the Superman movies over the years. So I believe they had the original, was it the 1978 movie? And then they had, I'm pretty sure they had some stuff from Superman Returns, Man of Steel. And then you got to see some of the new Superman, the James Gunn movie, which is coming out this July 11.
7-Eleven.
And then 2 guys showed up to that one too. Jim Lee had a signing there. He was doing sketches. I had some intel tell me that he did a few sketches for some people, and then he signed for the rest of the people. So if you were there really early, Jim Lee was doing sketches for people, and then James Gunn was there, and he was signing stuff. And you got an exclusive comic book There. You want me to grab the comic book real quick?
Grab it, grab it, grab it.
Sure. So here, wait, take me off camera real quick.
Well, I'll just show this real quick, and as you're doing that, this is what I wanted to talk about as you get that real quick, Mark. This is what's cool about collecting comic book signatures, the experience. It's not always going to the Comic-Cons and paying $10 chucks for these guys, man. You know, where everything's so transactional. This here is a community event. If you were going, you were going, or you're going because you want the full-on experience of seeing the Christopher Reeve Superman with some of your favorite comic book talent, maybe even a Hollywood director. Like you said, James Gunn was there, but then you got people like John Bogdanoff that was a part of the death of Superman. So that's such a, monumental storyline. And you said Dustin Nguyen literally had books signed by John Bogdanoff, man. That's crazy. So I thought that's dope. It's really about the community. It's really about people coming together and getting opportunities like that. So you said this is a book that they gave away. I'm gonna give you the solo.
Yeah. So a quick preface. I bought some art. I bought this. So keep on the note of
man. Your camera is. I don't know if it went. It was good when we weren't recording. Now we're recording, and it's like I can't even see none of that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know why it does that. Try.
So next week for sure. I'm not.
Yeah, man.
I gotta upgrade. So
no sheezy. But anyway, you said you had a book.
Yeah. So I bought some art. For some reason, they gave me the book that came from the tour. So it came with a little thing. They only printed 1,938 copies, and then you can see it online.
That's the 1938 is when Superman Action Comics #1 came out.
Yeah, so a little nod to that, and then it's a special cover. Right now, it's encased and both sides are covered. Let me see if I can move it out. You guys can see.
So it's polybagged. It's polybagged.
Yeah, it's polybagged.
Oh, okay. So you can't even see it anyway. So I had you on the blow up for nothing. Okay. But
it's a reprint of All-Star Superman #1, and it has it's a photo cover with David Corn Sweat. I believe that's his name, right? The new actor of Superman.
I don't know, man. You guys reminded me that Superman was coming out this year. I thought it was coming out next year. That's partially why I wanted to talk about the topic tonight is to get me dialed in and riled up for Superman. I mean, people don't care about DC anyway, so I got to pump us up. I got to pump us up. Yeah. So anyway, so as we wrap up, let us know if you got whoever's watching, whether on IG or whether on YouTube. Were you guys at this event? Because some of us, are fellow Six Layers from Cali. That was at the show. May have showed up a little bit after you or something like that. Maybe was at the actual screening of the original Superman movie. Who knows?
Yeah. If you're on
let
the
us
tour,
know in
man,
the chat.
If you're on the tour, let us know. Call in, man. Let us know how it was.
Yes. And speaking of which, we're definitely going to be taking on callers tonight. Callers, if you call in, you might mess around and get tonight's prize. Callers is always the wild card. They're always the joker. So if you call in and you bring something to the conversation, you might mess around and get the prize off the engagement. So we will have a call-in segment tonight talking about our main topic. And so we're going to get into that in a second. But just to wrap things up on Superman Day, I'm glad you were able to make it out. There were other things that were going on too that same day, though, right? Wasn't Mark Waid signing or something that same day? Or was that the day before?
The next day. So Saturday was, I don't know, the perfect storm of signings. So Saber, Pirzada, Pornsak, Pichichote, Jay Holtham were at Golden Apple. I believe it was also Tyler Boss and Matt Rosenberg were at Golden Apple as well for a different book. But the three guys before, they were selling their Horizon Experiment, or they were there for a signing for the Horizon Experiment trade. Jeff Johns was up in Burbank at the Barnes & Noble. No one was there at all. That was for Ghost Machine signing. And then Mark Wade was
Ghost Machine. What was there a particular book that they were pushing?
No, I think it was for generally for the trades. So Geiger Volume 2, Rook Exodus Volume 1, and then they didn't have Red Coat there, so I'm not sure if that sold out or something. And then Mark Wade was at Collector's Paradise for Summer of Superman special. And then
so that came out already. Summer of Superman special already came out.
Yeah, that came out last week Wednesday.
Okay, so we're definitely going to talk about that. And so shout out to all the people that are putting in their entries for Stash Wars Live. Mark, I'm gonna give you the solo to show what we're going to be giving away, and then also add that third piece.
Okay, yeah, you got it right here.
All right.
So again, we're gonna be giving away a Scott Kobler sketch from the Superman Day and a Dustin Wynn sketch.
Try to keep them as stable as possible, so that way it can buffer. Yeah, there we go. Just keep them still. Yeah, there we go.
So if you guys can see these were.
Yep. So we got Scott Koblish and Dustin Wynn. So hashtag Stash Wars Live is going, and we got to unlock 15. We got 7 in the chat right now. We need to unlock 15 and get these sketches. Flip them in the back so people can see. These are commemorative. So we only could have got these there. So these aren't just regular old sketches. This is Superman Day sketches 2025 at the Warner Brothers. This is where the parent company of DC Comics, near their headquarters, right around the corner.
And I wanted to ask for more of these, man. They had them on the table.
And then the book. What's the book? And so boom, we got this book. That's World's Finest.
Signed by Mark Wade.
That is the trade paperback. So you get a trade paperback signed by Mark Wade and 2 sketches. And all you have to do is encourage 10 more entries. We need 10 more entries. You get 2 sketches and a trade paperback. I mean, who does this stuff? 6-layer station. And this is what we're doing. We're having a good time. We're talking about Superman Day. And there we go. We got another mic in the house. Comic Mike. I dig. Stash Wars Live. Tell them all to come through. We got Scott Kobler sketch, Dustin Wynn sketch on a Superman Day board. That's the key there. That's what makes it. You had to have been there. And so, and we're giving those out. And for the meager price of 15 entries. Okay. So, yes. So we're going to move on. But shout out to Comic Mike. We're going to move on to our second topic. And I've been chomping at the bit to talk about this. Okay. And this is Superman versus Batman. Who's going to have the bigger year? Right? Now, this is what brought me to this, Mark. And bear with me for a second. Last week, I didn't even know that the movie was coming out, Superman movie. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, why are they pushing Superman on us so hard? I mean, they're forcing it down us. I was like, dang, what's going on? Y'all were like, Mike, man, the movie's coming out. I'm like, oh, that's it, duh. Right? So with that said, right, Batman don't got no movie coming out, right?
No.
Now the question is, who's going to have the bigger year? First time watching Comic Mike, we're gonna have a ball tonight, and I want you to answer this question: who's going to have the bigger year in comics? That's the real true question, right? the bigger year in comics, right? Batman is always the flagship IP for DC. It usually sells the most. Absolute Batman had the most comic book sales of 2024, right? But then let's talk about Superman for a second. Let's delve in and really talk about Superman. And we're going to talk about James Gunn, guys. We're going to talk about James Gunn and his potential impact on the DCU movies. I don't really talk about movies too much. I'm a comic book guy through and through. But the reason why this is important to me is because I want to know if all of this push, the Superman movie and all of this marketing for Superman, will it be able to hang with Batman by the end of the year? That's the question. That's the question I want to answer. The Superman movie, if the movie is really good. Now, it might be good. And that's why we're talking about James Gunn a little bit. Because James Gunn and his initiative is going to impact our point of view of DCU, especially Marvel fans, because we live in a Marvel world. DC is a little island, and I'm dating myself. DC fans live on the island that Gilligan was on, okay? So, like, that's where all the DC fans are at. They're on Gilligan's Island, okay? And so this movie is really the first big initiative to come out under the James Gunn. Albert Moy releases Hush Arts tomorrow. And you know what, SCG? I saw that. And we're going to talk about that because I'm curious, right? Now Hush Art, that's for the big baller shot callers. Okay. Those are those, those dudes that, they wiping their behinds with soft, warm $20 bills. Okay. Those are the people that are buying Jim Lee Hush pages this weekend. Right. But this James Gunn movie, it's not even James Gunn. It's the first movie under James Gunn's tutelage, right? We're curious about it. And I'm really curious. You know why? Because, anytime I can get a Green Lantern in the house, let's go. And you got Hawk Girl in the back. Now, that Hawk Girl right there, she looks like a cosplayer. You see the Hawk Girl in the background right there?
Yeah.
That Guy Gardner could be at WonderCon right now. That could be this guy. Don't let Mike. Who you talking about? Comic Mike? This is not me. Not me. Guy Gardner, man. I'm for it. I'm for the bowl cut. I'm for it all. And even if I gotta put up with the hot girl in the background, I'm cool with it. James Gunn, to me, he has not did any wrong. As it comes to like the comic book movies. I'm a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy and all that jazz. I'm a big fan of that.
Hey, real quick, Mike.
What's up?
Do you like the Guy Gardner costume though?
Like I said, I'm cool with the bowl cut. I'm cool with everything, man. Long as it's good.
The actual costume, why is it blue though? Why is it blue and white?
I don't know, man. Maybe that's before the special effects. Maybe we don't know. Maybe we got like a super dry image of it. You never know.
Is it or is it Guy Gardner got kicked out of the Lantern Corps, like Guy Gardner Warrior? You know that era, right? In the 90s?
Yeah, definitely. So you're saying blue, like maybe that could be a W because he had a little W outfit when he was with the Warriors. Who knows?
And then he had the Yellow Lantern there. He had a Sinestro Corps lantern, remember? Or
or it's the Antimatter Universe Yellow Ring. But then here's the other one right here. I was really pleased to see Mr. Terrific. I'm cool. This might be a cheesy outfit. It might be. I don't know. But Mr. Terrific, if they make him smart as hell, and this dude just solves everything and has all the answers like he does when he's in the comic books, I would love that. Because Mr. Terrific is a smart mofo.
Yeah.
Okay. But this all boils down to, is this Superman movie, can it make people interested in Superman comics, right? Let's see, right? This week, Superman 25 just dropped and Lex Luthor is back in the hizzy, right?
Yeah.
So we got Superman stuff happening, and this is what brought me to that grand question last week, which is, what's the big deal? What's cracking with Superman? Why are they pushing it so hard? And then, you guys are like, duh, Mike, there's a movie coming out. But Joshua Williamson's been on Superman for a minute, a couple years. I think Superman number one rebooted shortly after Bendis's tenure. I want to say back in 2023 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. I think it came out early 2023. So now we're in Superman 25, and this has a bunch of artists. So this is an oversized issue. This just came out Wednesday. And this looks like Dan Mora, I believe. Is that Dan Mora? Yeah, Dan Mora. I think Dan Mora's on the right. I think it's all Dan Mora, this image right here. But Eddie Burroughs is in this book, Jamal Campbell. And so they're really pushing Superman, right? And then you were at this, right? So you were at this. Were you at the Mark Waid signing for Summer of Superman?
I had just missed it. So I think so I picked up the book after the fact. Mark Waid was going to a signing, or no, he was going to a screening of All-Star Superman right after. So that was Collector's Paradise promotion for Superman Day, or for Superman Week or Superman Weekend, And so by the time I made it there, Mark had already left. So I just picked up the trade after the fact. But
so this was like a kind of like, I don't want to say an anthology, but kind of like a special. That's what they call it, a summer special. And it showcases all the Superman books, all the Superman talent in one book as they push toward the Summer of Superman. So Mark Waid, I believe, is on Action Comics now. So you got Mark Waid on Action Comics. You got Joshua Williamson on Superman, right? Yeah. And then we have Dan Slott on something. Let me bring this here. Dan Slott on Superman Unlimited. And so I believe, when does this come out? Superman Unlimited?
So that comes out May 21st.
Yeah, May 21st. Yeah, so Superman Unlimited comes out, and Dan Slott, who's pretty much is mostly been a Marvel lifer, right?
Yeah.
He's getting a stab at Superman. Now, SCG, I don't know if you're still here. Now, he says something. I don't really have that much knowledge about Dan Slott's work. I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big Spider-Man guy. Matter of fact, I don't really like Spider-Man. Okay? Never really liked them, other than the cartoons and stuff. But I don't like Spider-Man. So Dan Slott has not been on my radar. But when SCG said that Dan Slott is the Tom King of Marvel, I was like, what? Or Tom King of Spider-Man? I was like, what? That's not a vote of confidence. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, Superman, somebody needs to do something with Superman. Now, I will say that the Philip Kennedy Johnson's Action Comics run, that looked fun. And I got to get into that. I was reading some of that right before we interviewed Philip Kennedy Johnson. And so that looked fun, but Superman's been up and down for years. What are your thoughts?
Man, I thought it was when was Peter J. Tomasi on the title?
Right at the beginning of Rebirth.
I thought that was a great time. Rebirth,
2016.
Action Comics with Grant Morrison. I thought that was cool. It was a little confusing at the beginning of New 52. Um, I didn't think that the John Romita, Jeff Johns run was bad. I thought that was kind of cool. Um,
So you just family. Okay, so well, let me just read this. Comic Mike says the only issue I have with the new Superman movie is they might have too many characters, and Crypto in the first movie reboot, it might take away from Superman. Who knows, man? That might be that character. You know, that little sizzle reel might be 1 minute of the movie, right? That they turned into a bunch of hype. You know how they do, like comic books. You know, you run into, Superman runs into the JLA for a beat, and then he goes off and flies off into his story, right? So we don't know how it's gonna pan out, but I'm curious to see, you know, what they do. We need some kind of different Superman movie and comics. Brian Michael Bendis equals bad Superman. SEG. He said it for the nation.
I was gonna say also, I don't think the Brian Michael Bendis Superman was it. I don't think that was. I don't think
Definitely, Comic Mike. We gotta wait and see. I'm curious. Like I come into all of these comic book movies expecting them all to suck. Okay, and so I come in with zero expectations, and then either I'm pleasantly surprised or my expectation was it was going to suck. So, but I will say this. Okay. Hold on. 1 second. What up? Hunter Iggy, what's the dilly? I have to say this, man.
What's up?
Off the rip, I got faith in James Gunn. He gives me no issue. Have you saw Creature Commandos?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I watched
Creature Commandos was the shit, man. I loved Creature Commandos. I like Creature Commandos. I like the Suicide Squad second one. It was okay. It was way better than the first one. It had entertaining moments.
I like both, man. I watched that first one so many times that
you missed me on the first Suicide Squad movie. That shit was straight up trash. But the second one was good. And then what else he did was a part of we said Creature Commandos. Oh, Peacemaker. That Peacemaker show was hilarious.
Yeah.
Peacemaker was awesome. So far he's batting I don't know what's a good batting average, 500, 600, right? You know, if somebody batting 600 in baseball, that dude is getting, he's Babe Ruth on roids.
Did you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy movies or no?
I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was fantastic. That's what put him on the radar for me. So I think James Gunn could make I think his taste, and it seems like he's a DC fan. So I'm gonna give him credit off the rip, and I'm gonna come in actually, hesitant, but I'm kind of optimistic a little bit. Like I said, I don't have any expectation. Seeing this doesn't bother me. This stuff was meant for pages. So making things live action and making people look cool, that's a tough task. That's why I think most comic book movies suck, because it's hard to make these guys look cool. You know what I mean? It was meant for art. It wasn't meant for live action. But, making this look cool, I want to see it. Mr. Terrific, that's what I want to see. Obviously, Guy Gardner looks like a goober. And then the hot girl in the back looks like a cosplayer. Like that, this is a still, but that image right there does not look like, oh my God, that's a vicious Thanagarian, right? It looks like a cosplayer at San Diego.
Well, that's why I didn't have any. I don't think I had any gripe with the Zack Snyder movies, because I thought like the color gradation, like I thought it made it look serious, and it looked like it's supposed to be there. Like I think this is like panning towards a little more of like the Marvel movie looks, and so it's kind of brighter and like I think it looks like a little more goofy, like the costumes and stuff. Like James Gunn tries to be like comic accurate, enough. But
Yeah, like this is a accurate enough Mr. Terrific. Like that's how he looks in the comics, but
yeah,
live action, he looks like a goober.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's dude, all versions of Guy Gardner, minus the probably Pat Gleason Guy Gardner, looks like a goober. Okay.
yeah,
Hawk Girl, she looks like a goober. Like everybody looks like a goober, and they have to do something cool to make you unthink about the gooberness. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like this Mr. Terrific, bro. Like, I mean, he got paid. So he's like, bro, I got paid. I'm in a movie, but come on, man. Like, no real Mr. Terrific in real life. No real Mr. Terrific in real life would look like this. He would, have a little bit more steez. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's comic book accurate. I'll give it that. And that's my whole point. You got to forgive a lot when you talk about live action. I would love for these studios to put the same amount of effort into animation, and I think we'll get what we really, really want to see. But I think it's hard to really pull stuff off like this live action. I really
yeah,
do. But I think James Gunn does a good job of kind of navigating both. I think that he knows how to give you a little bit of that comic feel of the page, but then understand how to transpose that to the screen. And,
yeah.
and so I gotta give him credit for that. But
I got hope.
I just want it to be good. I just want some good juju to go on DC side. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
mostly everybody that watches it is a Marvel fan, and they're gonna come in with that, kind of that ultra criticism. But I gotta say, Marvel ain't really did nothing in a while. Like, most of their movies have been kind of okay. Their shows have been okay. Now, I am eager to see the new Captain America. I haven't seen that yet, and I'm gonna see all the rest. But I normally like. There's nothing I'm excited about.
yeah,
I will see the Fantastic Four though. I'm gonna see
looks
that in the
good.
theaters. But
Yeah,
everything else is worth Disney Plus for me. That's what I get Disney Plus for. I'll wait. It ain't earth shattering. Most of these
yeah.
movies are not earth shattering. Okay. So, but anyway, the main question is though, who's going to have the bigger year, Mark? So I'm going to ask you that first, and that's the question I want you guys to answer in the chat. We got some great comments, real quick. Are y'all going to see Thunderbolts? What up, Albert Bells? Yes, we're. I don't know about Thunderbolts. I might. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to see Fantastic Four. Unless one of you guys are like, yo, Thunderbolts was like the real. It revolutionized filmmaking. Then I'll see it. It has to be something like that. These movies are not going to revolutionize anything, but I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see it, but in the theaters, I don't know. They are throwing a lot at this film because they need a headliner film. Okay, and I'm assuming you're talking about the Superman movie, SCG. If you're talking about the Superman movie, we need Superman to be good. Okay, point blank. The first superhero, how's the first OG superhero like no one cares about no more? Yeah, SCG's talking about Superman. Yeah. To me, Superman has to have a good year. So I'm throwing you guys this question. I'm going to this. Yes. Iggy Hunter, I was coming to that. Sixth what is your thought on Snyder Bros trying to sabotage James Gunn Superman by saying wallet close, no money, or bring back Zack Snyder? I don't understand that last part. Do you understand what he's saying that, Mark, on the last part? Now,
I think he's saying.
Do you know anything about this? The Snyder brothers hating on James Gunn?
Yeah, I think I've heard that before, and I think they're saying to boycott the James Gunn movies. But they've
why?
shown,
Why?
Because they want to bring back the Snyderverse and everything. I think the Snyderverse had its time.
Who wants to bring back the Snyderverse?
Hey, I thought the Snyder Cut was great, man. Like
I
thought Man of Steel.
Get out of here.
I didn't like Man of Steel. I thought some parts of Batman versus Superman was all right. I liked Wonder Woman. I liked Shazam.
Shazam was like the comic. Shazam was like reminding me. It was
the Gary.
It was the most comic accurate to the Jeff Johns story. I would say that. everything else. To put it this way, it's the multiverse, dude. I'm cool with Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Henry Cavill being Superman, but the Snyderverse, I think we've seen that already, bro. Come on, man. It's over, man. It's over. Let's come anew. Next, let's go. I don't need it.
I think
so hold on. 1 second, though. Iggy Hunter had a question. So now that you explained it, okay. Iggy Hunter, I'm going to say this, man. Hunter Iggy, hey, Snyder Brothers need to take a step back. Do something else. You know what I mean? What did they do that was good? Besides that, I mean, I'm trying to remember. What did they do? Don't tell me. Were they a part of Transformers?
Snyder?
What did they do? What did Snyder do? What is the other movie? I'm forgetting. I know he did a lot of stuff.
Watchmen, Sucker Punch.
Watchmen, and what else?
300.
He did 300. Okay. All right. I respect.
300 was cool.
There we go.
I really liked Watchmen.
My man Watchmen was good. Didn't like anything else. There we go. See, Space Case was Aquaman was like the Jeff Johns book too. Aquaman was like the Jeff Johns book. Shazam was like the Jeff Johns book. But I'm saying, are those movies with fringe characters worth prolonging the Snyderverse? No, bro. I'm sorry, man. Now, hey. Now put it this way. If you really want to get jiggy with it, right? It's the multiverse. It's the divine continuum. The Snyderverse can still exist. If Warner Brothers got the budget like that, where they want to do something, but I don't want the Snyderverse to spite James Gunn stuff, because guess what? I'm already having a good time. Put it this way. There's nothing that the Snyderverse has done that's better than Creature Commandos. Tell me I'm lying. There's nothing the Snyderverse has done that's better than Peacemaker. Tell me I'm lying. There's nothing, bro. There's nothing. So like it's man, I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm talking about movies right now. But look, we're gonna talk about it for a little bit more. James Gunn, I think he's doing a good job. Now, is that gonna parlay into comics? Is the question. All of this hype for the movies, will it parlay into comic book sales for the Man of Steel? Okay, because you know you're already going against a juggernaut with Batman, right?
Yeah.
Batman is a comic book juggernaut. So please, while you guys are thinking about this, we got 14 people right now in the chat. If 8 of you guys right now put in hashtag Stash Wars Live right now, you guys will unlock tonight's prize. You guys can unlock you guys right now can unlock, put in Stash Wars Live and keep it there, Mark. There we go. You get these 2 sketches. This is from Superman Day last week in Burbank, California. Keep them up.
Yeah, sorry if it's a little blurry.
It's all good. Please put in hashtag Stash Wars Live. Everybody, put in and please like this video. Smash the like button, please. Do your boys a favor. Smash the like button right now. But we're giving away these 2 sketches tonight and show them the back. This to let you know it commemorates Superman Day. Superman Day. In Batman, Cape Crusader, Penguin, and Gender Swap as that was you're talking about the TV show. How'd you feel about that Batman TV show on Amazon?
Dude, honestly, I didn't like it, man.
Yeah.
My honest opinion, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I can say it could have been better. But please, everybody, hashtag Stash Wars Live. All we need is a few more entries. All we need is a few more entries. There we go. Keep that there. Keep that there, Mark.
And then
we're giving away World's Finest trade paperback signed by Mark Waid as well. So you're getting okay. Albert Bell says some okay. Albert Bell's, he said, oh my God, this is the comment of the day. He liked Gotham. Now, hear me out, guys. Hear me out about Gotham. Okay.
What's up?
Hear me out about Gotham. The dude that played the Penguin,
Bro, yeah.
he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT Penguin. No one's messing with that Penguin. Now, here's why.
Robin Taylor Lord or something like that, right?
I don't even know his name. His name is Penguin. His name is Penguin. If I saw him on the street, I'm calling him Penguin. The dude is Penguin. He's Penguin for life. He is the GOAT, Penguin. Why would you call him anything less than Penguin? Right? It'd be disrespectful. His name is Penguin. Okay? So, my point is, Danny DeVito for life. Hey, man. Hey, Danny DeVito he's a GOAT on another. Like, Danny DeVito is.
I've met two penguins. I've met Danny DeVito and I've met what's his name? Who's the penguin right now?
I don't know. Oh, you met Colin Farrell?
Yeah, I met Colin Farrell. He was playing pinball at Revenge of. One time.
Cool. Okay, he carried this. This is what I gotta say about Gotham, guys. Albert Bell's he's over here triggering me right now. Gotham.
Yeah,
you can't take Gotham seriously. I want you to relax, unwind, and I'm about to put you in the right context of Gotham. Watch Gotham like it's a sketch comedy show. If you watch it like it's a comedy, you will crack up, dude. Don't take it seriously. Don't take it seriously. When you see the Penguin spaz out, and I'm telling you, watch it like a comedy, dude, it's going to take you to entertainment levels unmatched. Gotham is a comedy. That's what I wanted to say. Gotham is the funniest anything Batman related. Harley Quinn has some funny stuff, but Gotham is hilarious, man. Gotham is the cheesiest, greasiest. It's just so funny, man. It's just I gotta say, man, you guys are cracking me up tonight. He carried the show, that's for sure. He carried the show for sure. So, you guys, as you guys are thinking, and as you guys are sorry about that. As you guys are putting in Stash Wars Live, please put that in. We got enough. We got 8 entries. We need 7 more entries to unlock tonight's prize. Just to let you guys know, 2 sketches and a graphic novel we're giving away. And they are not just any sketches. They are Superman Day sketches from the Warner lot. Because my man, Mark the Honorable Villain, was there last week. And I'm just going to give cats a quick recap. Just so you guys know, my man, Mark the Honorable Villain, he was at the Warner lot last week. Jim Lee was in the house. Hold on, this thing is lagging right now. There we go. Jim Lee was in the house with John Bogdanoff. I want a DC shirt like that. I like the bullet. They should never change it.
Yeah, I always like the bullet, man. I like the swoosh too.
And hello, guys. This sketch that you seen Scott Koblish do, this is what you guys can win tonight. You guys are the comments are in tonight, man. Big up. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Do us a favor. Smash the like button. Superman is on the left side and Batman is on the right side. And you guys are both wearing Batman, Superman. So yes, we are. Hey man, it's that's what we supposed to do. Blue Beetle could have been great, but couldn't stand George Lopez. I mean, yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. They should have showed Ted Kord, man. That was the problem with that movie.
Hey, the Warner Brothers stores in the malls, FCG. Now that used to be the lick. That's where I used to get my Batman the Animated Series DVD sets and stuff like that. So guys, hashtag Stash Wars Live. We just need 7 more. Let's unlock these. These are special gifts. And you guys are noticing, returners are noticing that there's different prizes each week, right? So this will be your only chance to get this. So if you guys don't unlock this tonight, it will not come back. It will poof be gone. Okay. We want to give this stuff out tonight. We want to unlock. We need 15 entries. Okay. All right. So back to the question, Mark. Answer it. Will this Superman hype be able to push the juggernaut aside, that is Batman.
So I like kind of how they've been doing these. They've done it twice now. That the Superman movies are kind of ushering in the movie universes, and right now they're pushing Superman a lot. So Dan Slott left Marvel. It's coming to DC. They did that once though. They did that with Brian Michael Bendis, and I don't think it hit. I like Dan Slott, and he was good on Spider-Man. I thought he was good on Spider-Man, and so let's see how he does with
Trash
Superman.
Tone says saw the trailer last night and thumbs down. Ooh, talking about Superman on IG.
Yeah, that might be true. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too hyped about that crypto scene, but I'm a Superman fan.
I was hyped about Crypto, but Crypto on Titans, on the live action show Titans, that was on the defunct DC Universe app. That Crypto was gangster. Crypto,
like
the OG live action Crypto from Titan show, shut it down. That Crypto was hard. But anyway, I'm not mad about Crypto. I wasn't mad about nothing that I saw about the Superman stuff because everything is going to be out of context. We won't really know the context of anything yet. Now, okay, here's why I'm asking, guys. Now think about this because we are going to take callers tonight. Okay. So just so you guys know, we're going to take callers tonight. I'm going to put the link in the chat in a moment, okay? But because I want to hear from you guys. Will all this Superman hype, will it be able to push any kind of comic book sales where it could match Batman territory? Because they're in for a doozy, and I want to know. Let us know. Trash Tone says here on IG. Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four look great though, and as I mentioned, I'm going to see Fantastic Four. I'm definitely seeing Fantastic Four. So that
on the fence about Thunderbolts, but the Sentry stuff, I think that stuff looks cool. The Thunderbolts.
I'm definitely watching Fantastic Four just because that's going to get me up. So that's where it's getting me up. Yeah. Here it is, guys. Like I said, so James Gunn, I think he's going to revolutionize DC movies, but will it be able to impact the comics? I don't know. We're going to find out. It's the summer of Superman. This just came out last week. And then Superman 25 came out this week. And this is an oversized issue. So they really are pushing Superman. But you know what else came out this week, Mark?
What's up?
I got to tell you.
Batman
Here it is. Where's it at? Hold on. Here it is.
Hush, hush, hurry, get that GME. Hush, hush, I wanna see your GME. Hush, hush.
That's right, guys. Hush. Superman got to deal with Hush. Batman 159, as you said, Mark, is coming out. It came out already. It came out this Wednesday, right? Yeah. We want to see your Jim Lee's, right? And Jim Lee is doing interior artwork. SCG says they need to be selling Superman comics at the theaters. DC is putting them in Dollar Trees. Absolute titles are moving. Now, this man sounds like he knows what he's talking about here. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, why not bridge the gap at the theater, right? And don't like make it some freaking, obscure variant that collectors are going to want to try to hoard and flip on eBay. Just make it a regular ass reprint, cheap for kids to flip through and want to be reading comics. Six Lair, what are your thoughts on Ben Affleck saying he hate wearing the tight back suit? Well, guess what? I hated Ben Affleck as Batman. Okay. No booty chins allowed. Okay.
I thought you looked good.
No booty chins should be like he needed the full face cowl. It's like, dude, it was like nudity. They should have blurred that out. You know how they like CGI'd the skin on Henry Cavill to cover his mustache in the Justice League movie? They should have CGI covered the crack on Ben Affleck's chin. Okay. They should have worked some Warner Brothers miracles. I can care less about Ben Affleck's liking or not liking anything DC related. All right. And believe it or not, his highlight of being Batman is in the Flash movie, and that movie was terrible. Anyway, back to the subject. We're talking about the juggernaut known as Batman. Now, let me know in the chat, did you guys pick up Batman 159? This cover right here. Did anybody pick up Hush? Batman 158. Did you pick it up? Let us know in the comments. Did you pick up anything related to Batman 159? And this is just a little opening. You know, I want to show a little bit of like what's going on in it. We didn't show. SEG mentioned that Albert Moy is selling, actually, I believe this page to the right. You could actually buy this page for like $30,000. It's quite affordable. It's very, you know, it's one of those things that you could just, anybody can get, right? Psych. Anyway.
Is the Joker always that ripped, man? What? He looks like Iggy Pop back in the old days, man.
Hey, it's Jim Lee art. Everybody's ripped. Everybody's ripped and everybody's sexy. This is the Jim Lee world. What I was going to say about this, what I loved about this, I chose these two images, guys, because I wanted to give the Sultan of Shade some credit. Alex Sinclair. This could be the original Hush. This looks exactly like the OG Hush. It's like colored almost to a T, like the OG Hush. Am I lying?
No, these pages look really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like the tones and everything. It's exactly like Hush. The layout, the word balloons, like everything's to a T. That's what I give them credit for. I give them credit for getting the aesthetic down. They got the aesthetic down on this. Okay, but the question is, guys, did you pick this up? Did anybody pick up Hush? Hush 2. Anybody pick it up? I'm gonna go solo real quick. Okay. I'm just gonna show. Hey man, I went gaga over the Hush. You know what I mean? We got these. Shout out to my man Donnie for hooking these up from the Memphis Comic Expo. 6 layers is gonna be there this year too. Sorry guys, my sinuses are killing me tonight. But we got these ash cans. This one you only could have got in MegaCon. And then this one, Mark, you see this one? Yeah. I said this was going to be the cover that everybody wanted, and it is. Like, this is the cover. Like, there's the Virgin cover, and it's the same image, but it's with the original, orangish coloring, and this is the blue. But this is the gatefold where it has all the covers rolled out, right?
Oh, you got it?
Huh?
It's expensive, no? Are you?
Well, it's not. It wasn't expensive when you first bought it, but I'm saying like it's starting to creep up. You can get it for like $10-15. But I'm saying this is the book that people are gonna want because it has everything. So this is the one I like. Plus, this looks more like Hush than the other one, which is this one, right?
I think it was I think it was like $50 at Collector's Paradise or something, man. Like first day.
No, I think you're talking about the Virgin one of this one. There's a Virgin one like this one.
Yeah.
That one's $50. And then there's this one. But I'm saying people like this one more than the Virgin one of this one. That's what I'm saying. Because it looks more like Hush. But as you guys can see, this one's signed by Jim Lee. We had a fantastic giveaway. Man, how many we gave away? Like 4 of these?
Yeah, maybe.
We gave like 4 or 5 Jim Lees on our 10,000 sub giveaway. And yeah, man. But did you guys let me know in the chat? Did you guys pick any of these up? You know I did. I had to get this. Just came out this week. This just came out this week. You know, and I actually I like this cover better than the first cover.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And with Jason Todd holding some Uzis. And then, you know, I had to get my inner the Signature King.
The Royal Foils.
The Royal of Foils. I had to get a foil. I like this one. What you need, Albert Bales?
He needs a hush. I think 158.
And then this one, dude. I'm a sucker for Andy Kubert Batman covers. So
Yeah,
I definitely picked this one up. Andy Kubert. This all just came out this week. But my question is, as you guys see, you got Jim Lee on the stands today, right? And so Superman has to compete against Jim Lee, right?
Yeah.
And has to compete against Jorge Jimenez again, all over again. Hold on, let me put it here. Jorge Jimenez all over again. Batman #1. When is this coming out?
So that's coming out, I believe, September 2025.
What else you know about this?
So Matt Fraction writing. Jorge Jimenez is carrying over from Volume 3. So he's been on there for a long time. He started with the Tinian run, right?
Yep.
And so he's doing all new designs. I'm not sure if they've given out anything about the details of the story yet, but they've given us these graphics to show us the designs of Batman. And I think that's all I know, man. It's coming out September 2025.
It's coming out September. I would say somewhere around Batman Day, which would not bode well against Superman. It would not bode well against Superman either, right? The other thing I would add is that, as you can see in the image on the left, there's a little bit of some redesign work going on that Jorge Jimenez did, and I'm not mad at it. It's not a divergence too far away from what we're normally seeing.
Mike,
Batman is more relatable to us humans as Superman. Okay, now ding, ding, ding. Hey, man, I'm Sean Kemp, and my man Albert Bales is Gary Payton, because he's throwing lobs all day long.
Well,
he's throwing lobs all day long. Now, here's the thing. Let me go back to this comment. What are you about to say, Mark?
I was going to tell you to address that, man, because I think I have a counterpoint to that. What do you think about that comment?
Go ahead. Get your counterpoint up. I'm putting this comment up.
Man, Batman has money, man. I think most of us don't have money. And yeah, he's a human, but I don't think he's relatable like that. You know, Superman works like a 9 to 5. You know, he works in an office and everything. And then you get like the other aspects that he's the immigrant from space. He's here, and then they've addressed that in other comics and everything. And he's someone who has hope, and he's someone that's altruistic, and he cares for humanity and everything. I think that's something that people go towards. I'm not sure if people want to go fight crime, and I'm not sure if people have had their parents killed in an alleyway and, you know, have vengeance within them and everything. So I'm not sure.
I mean, there's so many tropes you can go with Superman and Batman, but
yeah,
he's saying Batman is more relatable to us humans than Superman, and I would agree with that. And I would say not just because Batman doesn't have any powers. I think that as human beings, we're always striving for something like extraordinary, something like superhuman, right?
Yeah.
And then I think they're both cosplaying. I think Batman is cosplaying as a superhero because he's a human, and Superman is cosplaying as a human because he's an alien. And so break that down real quick, man. I got a call. 1 second. So yeah, break that down. I'm about to put the overlay on. And break that down some more, man, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Superman versus Batman.
Are you talking to me? Do you have a call? Do we have a call?
Yeah. I'm saying, a phone call, but I'm saying, can you take over for me real quick? So, Superman versus Batman.
So yeah, I think in some aspects, Superman's relatable. In some aspects, Batman's relatable. You know, we're not all billionaires and everything. And I think recently that's been something that people have been touching upon, that Batman kind of seems like the enemy. You know, he has all this money and he chooses to beat up the the mentally ill and stuff. You know, that's something that people have been bringing up more and more, and like something seeing like all the billionaires that have been popping up in recent years, and you know, usually they're not good guys and everything, but you know, Batman's the counterpoint and everything. He's a crime fighter, and then Albert Bales is talking about um, the smarts. I think that's something that, you know, all of us aren't geniuses either, man. I think that's something that we strive to reach.
I think there's some. I think there's something to be said about you saying that Batman's rich, and I think that him being rich definitely makes him uh more superhuman. We got some chats here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Uh, hold on, man. Relate to some of these chats real quick.
I've always said that Batman who we want. Let me see. I've always said that Batman is who we want, and but Superman is who we should be. Yeah. And the Southern Comic Geek says Batman is the hero we deserve. Superman is the hero we need. Albert Bell says we're more intrigued with his smarts than alien powers. Superman is trying to fit in, but will never. Is that a hot take? I think so. And so yeah, I think we're trying to reach for both of them. So I think we want to be altruistic. We want so people get bored with Superman being all powerful, having heat vision, having ice cold breath, having super speed, being able to fly, and you know he has some of those other powers, you know, like the solar flare. There's that one comic where he throws little Supermans outside of his hands. You know, he has super ventriloquism and stuff like that. And then each story he's just able to do so much. But there's also stories like All Star Superman where, you know, there's a girl who's about to commit suicide. She's um, jumping off the building, and he just goes and comforts her, and he says that you're stronger than you think you are. And then I think that's something that all of us have within us, empathy. I know right now I'm wearing the Superman shirt, so I'm championing Superman right now. You can get Mike's take, and Mike's a huge Batman fan, and he'll defend Batman all day, you know, and I think I sway more towards Superman, and so I'll defend Superman all day. And I think sometimes we forget too, like how much we're a fan of Superman because DC doesn't really push as much as they do Batman. Over the years, more and more, Batman has been more of a popular character. I think since 1989, since the Tim Burton movie first came out, and so always Batman gets top tier writers, top tier artists, and so DC's been pushing that since forever. Batman, every now and then we get really good writers, every now and then we get really good artists, and you know we have these resurgences like I said earlier about Peter J. Tomasi. That was a good run. They tried to push Brian Michael Bendis, and they hoped that was going to be a good run. I didn't like it personally. Some people may have liked it. I thought the Jeff Johns with John Romita Jr. was a good run, even though John Romita Jr. was kind of past his time. I still enjoy his art at some points. Um, the Philip Kennedy Johnson stuff was great. You know, he really revitalized Superman. That's what people really held on to. Um, Joshua Williamson is doing a good job right now. You know, Mark Waid coming back to Superman, man. That is, I think they should have really advertised that because I think Mark Waid is one of the writers, one of the best writers of all times. And we're going to talk more about that next week. We're going to talk about who is the best writer in the game. But I think they should always push Mark Waid to the front. Him being on, Dan Slott being on now, he was great with Spider-Man. I didn't pick up that Superman summer special, And so you guys tell me if anyone picked that up and read the Dan Slott story. Let me know if that was good and if you have hope for him writing Superman. And so I don't have control of the comments right now. So we got Albert Bales saying facts. So I guess I am spouting out some truths right now. Tyler Smith said Jeff Johns and Gary Frank were fantastic. And then that too, yeah, Jeff Johns had a whole run on Superman. And then that's why I think him returning during the New 52, I thought that was great. All his stuff with Gary Frank, and he had Eric Powell on there. He had Adam Kubert. He had who else were some artists that he had? That's all I can remember right now. Oh, he had George Perez. You know, so there's been some great Superman runs in the past, but I think we just forget how great of a character Superman is. So you guys call in, let me know what you guys think, comment. And then Albert Bell says, I like Joshua Williams' run on Superman. It's if we're talking modern, that is. And, even back then, there's great creators like Kurt Swan. The Superman's really monumental. The first crossover between Marvel and DC was, Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man. Back then they even thought about changing the name of DC Comics to Superman Comics. I'll talk a little bit about that. One of the stories that reminded us how great of a character Superman is was the death of Superman. I think that's what kind of first got me into there. Yeah, John Byrne's run, Kurt Busiek's great. I love John Byrne's run on Superman. But yeah, the death of Superman.
I'm back, Mark. I'm back, man.
Here, let me say one more thing, man.
Go ahead, dude. My bad, dude. I was yeah, man, I had this crazy crap happen. Go ahead.
One last thing, man, on my soapbox about Superman. So
what, you ragging on Superman?
No, I'm saying Superman's great, man. I'm saying Superman's a great character, and we forget how great of a character Superman is.
So you're pro Superman. I do think that people that are pro Superman are good people at heart, and I think you're a good natured guy. So I'm not surprised.
Thank you, man. But here, my last thing. I wasn't always a Superman fan. I didn't like him. I kind of thought about that, like he's boring, like he's just a goody two shoes and everything. But and then you read The Death of Superman, and that came out maybe like 20 years before I was born or something. I read The Death of Superman, and I was like, oh man, they're gonna kill him.
Tyler Smith, that's my comment. Oh man, you're gonna love next week, Tyler Smith. Go ahead. I'm just looking at the comments.
But I was like, oh, I want to see Superman get beat up by Doomsday, and But you read The Death of Superman, and you realize like how much people within the DC universe need Superman. And so, there's the kid that likes Guy Gardner. He's like, oh, Guy Gardner's edgy and everything. And then you just realize like, yeah, Superman's there for us. He's altruistic and everything. And then you get to the death, and then it has such impact. And then you get to a funeral of a friend, and you see the vacuum of Superman, or the vacuum of the DCU without Superman.
I'm gonna give away a poster maybe next week of the Superman funeral signed by Dan Jurgens. So It's funny that you brought that up. But anyway, so that's a sneak peek. Use your hashtag, guys. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. I'm back, man. I'm sorry about that. Had to deal with some family stuff, but
cool.
Hashtag Stash Wars Live. I'm about to put you solo, Mark. Show them what they could win tonight. If we get 15 entries, please use your hashtag. Use your hashtag.
We got a Scott Koblish and Dustin Nguyen sketch from Superman Day at the Warner Brothers Studios shop. And they're on special cards that commemorate the Superman Day event. And so I think they're cool. I got them myself. So we'll send that out to whoever puts hashtag Stash Wars Live. And then then what? We also have World's Finest to talk about our Superman versus Batman conversation right now. It's signed by Mark Waid. I got that Collector's Paradise. Didn't see Mark Waid. Check out our Mark Waid interview. That was one of the first interviews me and Mike did. And
That was our first interview.
I think that was like the best one. I think
That
that
was
was
a great one. That was a great one.
yeah,
Guys, use your hashtag. Okay, I want to take a caller. Maybe somebody can win that prize tonight. Maybe they can win the prize. Let's see.
How many entries do we have right now?
Right now, we're only at, I'll tell you right now, how many entries. We're at 8. Please
Really?
use your hashtag. Even not, it's going to be a run. I want to be able to draw this, but please use your hashtag so that others could probably win a prize. Even if you don't win a prize, all you have to do is put in Stash Wars Live, hashtag Stash Wars Live, and we can run a draw. We need 7 more entries. 7 more entries. Use your hashtag. Be an upstanding part of the community and help your fellow community member win these sketches. We're giving away sketches tonight, or you can win a sketch. Put in your hashtag. Put in your hashtag. Now we got 9. Stash Wars Live. We got 9. We need 6 more. 6 more to unlock tonight's prize. And there are 2 Superman Day. Let's show them again.
So one from Dustin Wynn, sketch from Dustin Wynn, Superman, and a sketch from Scott Koblish from the Superman Day event at Warner Brothers Studios, the Warner Brothers Studio store. And then we
show them the back. These you only can get these there.
Yeah.
These commemorate Superman Day. So these are special prizes. And then Mark Waid is one of, who's more qualified to talk about Mark Waid? To talk about DCU than Mark Waid. So we got 10 people in. We need 6 more entries to unlock tonight's prize. We got 2 sketches and a trade paperback signed by the legend Mark Waid. And we're talking about Superman versus Batman. You said you need that Dustin Wynn one. Tell your homies to put in hashtag Stash Wars Live. That Dustin Wynn one is dope. I like the Scott Koblish one. So it's like, man, these are great. And these are Superman Day art. So it commemorates this year. You can get it nowhere else. Okay. Only the people there. And the main man, Mark, he was there on the scene to provide it for you. But we need 6 more entries, guys. 6 more entries.
So are you going to give your opinion on whose year it is, Batman versus Superman?
I'm good. I'm going there right now. Okay, I'm going there right now. So back here. So like I was saying, man, it's hard. Get back here. Give me a sec. It's hard to compete with this, man. I'm sorry. It's hard to compete with Hush and Jorge Jimenez, man. I think Hush. I think the Hush 2 they're going to be consistent sellers for the entire 6-month run. Okay. I think Superman is going to be large and in charge just, that month run. Maybe that, that month span when the movie's out, and then it's going to fizzle. And right when it fizzles, here comes Batman with the, you can, boom. And then here comes Batman #1. And then so right when Superman can even start smelling himself, here comes Batman #1 with the renumbering, which would be crazy. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I think. That is not even close. I think Superman can be relevant. D-Claw in the house. Hold on, D-Claw. You should do a video on your top 20 signed books in your collection. Oh, I will do that for you. I'll do that in 2 weeks. Okay, D-Claw. Since you said I do that, I do a top 20 in 2 weeks. That would be crazy. You wouldn't even begin to even. That's going to take me 2 weeks to even figure out what would make the top 20. So I would think about that and curate that top 20 list. But Superman is not going to stand a chance at 2025 as far as comics. Now, obviously, I think more people will be more prone to read about Superman because of the movie.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Like, but Batman is ruling DC when it comes to comic books. Okay. And so I want to know what you guys think. I'm throwing this in the chat. Remember, this could be for a prize. There it is. I'm just making sure. So I'm looking here too on there we go. Bam. So there is the link right there. Holler at your boys. Can Superman hang with Batman this year in comics? And we've been talking about a lot, so we're not going to restrict it there. Anything we talked about tonight that you want to share, it's open. So if you want to talk about Superman as a character, Superman versus Batman as characters, the Superman movie, the chat's right here, guys. Let us know, and you could win prize. You might show them the prizes right now, Mark. Yeah, you might win these. You might win these because we still need how many right here? Keep them up.
Like 6, right?
Up. Let's see. I'm checking the status right now. We need 6. We need 6 more entries to unlock this prize for everyone. But right now, we're looking for someone in the chat. Somebody holler at your boys. Oh, Space Case Collectibles is in the building. Space Case Collectibles, what up, baby? Can you hear us?
How you guys doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you got to say, man? What topic you want to hit?
Well, the James Gunn thing. I was going to say I'm cautiously optimistic about the movie, just because I think the thing that's been missing from Superman movies since the first 2.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta agree with that, man. Okay, so one last question before we let you go. What are you most excited about as it becomes to James Gunn being in charge of DC films?
Just the fact that he's going to make it fun. I think the last couple of Superman movies have tried to be too serious and too political, and just they haven't hit more on what Superman's really, about.
Yeah.
I agree with that, man. Space Case Collectibles, man. Much love. I hope you got your gifts, man, because I shipped them out. I shipped them out earlier this week. I found your information, so you should be getting it any day now if you haven't gotten them already.
Yeah, I got it today. Thank you so much.
Hey, man. Hey, take care, and thank you for rocking with us.
Yeah.
All right. We got the chat up, man. Shout out to Space Case Collectibles, man. I'm glad he got his gift, man. He won like 2 sick-ass gifts 2 weeks in a row. I noticed that we got another hashtag up. So let's see where we're at. Oh, we're at 10. We're at 10.
5 more?
5 more. We need 5 to unlock the prize, guys. Put your hashtag Stats Wars Live in. Be like the Claw. Be like the Claw here and use your hashtag. Use your hashtag. We want to give you these special Superman Day prizes. Okay. You only could have gotten them at the headquarters, the mothership that is Warner Brothers Studio. This is the parent company of DC Comics. And so we're giving you 2 Superman Day sketches by Scott Koblish and Dustin Nguyen, as well as Something to Read, a graphic novel, book 1 of World's Finest, signed by the legend, because this is six layers for Christ's sakes, by Mark Waid. So please, please, please use your hashtag. We need 5 more, guys. We have 15 in the chat right now. We need 15 people. We need 15 entries to unlock the sketches. But so now we're going back. Anybody want to call in? Please call in.
Yeah, I think
you will not be seen. You only be heard. You might win the prize. You might win the prize. I do. I still have some Hush ash cans too that I can give away. So let us know. Let us know what you think. Any of the topics tonight. Use that link, and you could join us tonight. for an audio call. Okay, so while we're waiting on the next caller, right? While we're waiting on the next caller, we're gonna get into our stash war because it's about that time.
I forgot we were even doing that, man.
Oh man, I don't forget. I got to do a stash war all the time. And look, guys, look at the graphic. Shout out to Mike doing the graphics. We got Superman comics, okay? So just to give the Man of Steel some love, okay, we wanted to share. So to kind of give you a little bit of what you were asking for, D-Claw, we're going to share some of our favorite Superman signed Superman books. Okay, we got Albert Bales. Hold on, we got a caller. So let's skip to that real quick. Let's skip to that. Albert, what up?
How's it going?
Hey man, we chilling like two cold villains, man. Okay, man, I want to get to the chase, man, because you know what's up. All right. So hold on. First off, what topic you want to hit tonight?
I want to switch it up if possible. I was gonna say, who's your, I guess, top 3 artists for Superman and Batman?
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 3 artists for Superman and Batman. So that's 6 total.
Yeah, 6 total.
Okay, so I'll make this quick. You want to go first, Mark? And this is all time.
It's kind
All
of hard.
time.
So I'll give you the ones that I know right now. So for sure,
So what's character first?
Marshall Rogers for Batman. I might have to go with Mike Mignola for Batman. And then, man, I might make it easy and then just say Frank Miller for Batman.
Okay, for me, all time,
Solid.
Neil Adams for Batman. I gotta throw in my guys. Andy Kubert, Doug Mahnke. Those are my 3 because I love those guys. And then for Superman, Gary Frank. I think he draws like the best Superman to me. Gary Frank. Then I would have to say, it gets crazy after that. I like John Byrne Superman. So Gary Frank, John Byrne, and I got to give it to Jim Lee. I like Jim Lee when he draws Superman. What about you, man? Did you get your 6?
I didn't give my Superman. So George Perez, Dan Jurgens, Garcia Lopez.
Okay, that's solid. All right, man. You asked the question, Albert. Now give us your top 3 Batman and then Superman.
I mean, you guys said everyone pretty much.
But we want to know yours,
Yeah, what's
though.
yours?
Frank Miller, Mignola, Jim Lee.
Batman.
For Batman, Superman. I would actually add, I forget his first name, Turner for
Michael
Superman.
Michael Turner. Oh, you're gonna be in for a treat tonight, buddy.
And John Byrne, of course.
Yeah.
And shoot, man, there's so many. The guys
One
you guys
more,
picked
man.
pretty much.
You got one more though. You put us on the spot.
Hold on, Superman.
Gary Frank.
Gary Frank. There you go.
Gary Frank. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so I feel good. We should feel good, Mark, that our caller called in and we had a lot in common between all 6 of our choices. He had a little bit of both worlds.
Solid choices.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, Albert, thank you so much, man. And thank you for rocking with us, dog.
Of course.
Hey, man, peace.
Thank you, man.
Peace.
All right, so we're getting to the stats because now Albert got me hyped. He got me hyped. Okay, so I'm gonna go first. Okay, because I feel like I just want some camera time. You know, I'll show my pretty face. You know, I was gone for a minute, so I'm back. Here we go. So I'm going solo. Okay, so here it is, guys. I wanted to give Superman some love because I'm about, the OGs, the predecessors, the forefathers. Superman is the first superhero, man. Like, he has to have some weight in today's era, and he really doesn't. So maybe the movie might revitalize that, maybe, okay? But I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to go from today on back. I normally go in chronological order, but today Stash War, I want to do a Superman from modern all the way back. And how far I go back, stick around and check it out. But meanwhile, I just want to make sure that we're all copacetic here. We got 10. We need 5 more. We need 5 more entries. Ooh, I like this. So Jim Aparo, Neil Adams, Jim Lee for Batman, Dan Jurgens, Gary Frank, Tom Grummett. Man, I like his eras. I like the eras that SCG cherry picked here. I definitely like that. So what'd you say, Mark?
Tom Grummett is great, the creator of Superboy.
Yes. Okay, so I'm about to start. So I'm going to start here with this. Did everybody see this? This just came out. This came out last week. This is the Superman Day kind of reprint or whatever. It's a foil, and this is from All Star Superman, and this is just kind of to kick things going. Let people know that the Sixth Layer still gets current books, still gets things that's off the shelves today. Even though I might go into Vintage World or go all over, I'm still getting stuff at my local comic book shop. And I wanted to get this one because it's a nice version of this classic right here. I got the OG. Don't worry. I was going to show you some full, and I'll show you the OG. Come on, guys. So here we go. This is Frank Quiley. This is signed last year in Lake Como, Italy. My books are more distinguished than I am. My cups have tea times, okay? My books have tea times and butlers. You know what I mean? Frank Quiley, you know what I mean? And I got another one that's double signed, but this one here I want to pull out. Then we're going, like I said, from modern all the way back. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat like that, because I've never seen an Action Comic 1000 like that. There we go. I try to make it rhyme. Look at that, man. Everybody on here. Bendis, Jim Lee, Dan Jurgens, Pat Gleason, Raphael Albuquerque, Garcia Lopez, Laura Martin, rest in peace, John Cassaday, Tom King, Jeff Johns, Scott Williams, Kevin Nolan. Who else I see here? Norm Ratman. Jeez. Any more? Oh, Paul Dini's on here. Marv Wolfman. Fire emojis. The pinky's out when you drink tea, baby. I dig it. I dig that one. Where's it at? Where's there it is. That's what I wanted to see. And then boom, we talked about Super Sons, right? We got Jorge Jimenez and my man Peter Tomasi. Let us know. It's Sixth Layer time, guys. Boom. You know I have to bust out the Calvin Ellis Black Superman. Yeah. There we go. Fire, baby. And this is Gene Ha. I saw Gene Ha Memphis last year. He did this for free, that little remark right there. So Gene Ha, shout out to Gene Ha, who I think is going to be doing stuff on Ghost Machine as well. And then we're moving on back. We got Superman Unchained. This is like the 1 out of 250 variant. This is Jim Lee, Scott Snyder, Alice Sinclair, Scott Williams, and Dustin Nguyen. Everybody's on here. It's just hard to see. Now, I believe last week, Albert, I hope you're still here. This is what I'm saying. Last week, you were asking me, do I use silver on the black and white or black? This is a one where the silver didn't work for me here. Maybe a red, maybe a paint marker. The silver, you can't see all the 6. This is signed 4 times. But it's hard to see. But this is the 1 out of 250. I'm trying to get Superman love, guys. So the Sixth Layer like Superman 2. You mentioned Action Comics #1, Mark.
Yeah.
Ta-da! How you like this now? I'm in the mix. Here we go.
That's a Jim Lee cover?
This is the Jim Lee Action Comics #1 second print, but this is coveted. Silver needs a less detailed sketch and more white. there you go, man. Albert is a professor, aka Compton Pops. Now, this is signed by Rags Morales and Jim Lee. Okay, I need Morrison on this. Where is Grant Morrison? I heard he's doing DC again. We need a Grant Morrison signing like now.
Yes.
And then we was talking about Gary Frank. This is my favorite Superman story of all time. Superman Brainiac. To me, Superman ain't been dope since this. I repeat, Superman has not been really dope since this. Okay. And hopefully I'll see Gary Frank in New York this year to get all these blessed. But I have to give Superman Brainiac props. I got this whole set signed, but I need Gary Frank on it. And then we're going back in time, guys. Like I said, what y'all know about this? Now, see, I did this one in black, and this is exactly what Albert Bell said a second ago, and I'm going to pull that comment back up when he was talking about more white. Silver needs less detailed sketch and more white, and this fits the bill. That's why this looks so great. There's no inks on it. It's just pencils. But this is fire emojis. I need fire emojis for this one, guys. You can't even buy this. Try to buy it, man. Look this up on eBay. See if you can buy it. I don't think you can buy this right now. And then I want to show you something, guys. Remember I told you about Bastard Books? I was talking about Comic-Con disasters. This was like maybe a month ago. Now, we talked about Michael Turner, right? There's a Michael Turner sig with Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee, Alice Sinclair on the S, Peter Steigerwald, and that W, I'm going to get Scott Williams there. But you want to know why these are remarked, Mark? You want to know that?
What's up?
I got a story about this one. You want to hear my story?
Yeah, tell it, man.
Well, you see the Superman logo and the Batman logo?
Yeah.
Those are bastards. The Superman is covering up a Jeff Loeb bastard.
Yeah.
And the Batman is covering up a Steigerwald bastard. So I had Peter Steigerwald. I was like, dude, how can I fix this, man? It has a Michael Turner sig on it. Dude, I've had this for years. How do I fix it, right?
Yeah.
Basically, Jeff Loeb, the reason why it's a bastard, he signed black on the black area. So you can't fucking see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why it's a bastard. If you can't see the sig, it's bastardized. I'm sorry. But anyway, so I had Peter Steigerwald like in 2022. I had him do remarks over the bastards. Yep, remarks salvage them bastards. That's what I'm saying. That's what happened. And so I had Steigerwald, and I was like, you know what? Why don't you do like a Trinity thing? Because there's Trinity is a cover of the Trinity. So put Superman near Superman, put the Batman. So I came up with this idea to cover it. So my question to you guys, did I do a good job? Did I cover this up well? Would you rock this book? Would you have this book in your collection with pride?
I think it's cool, man. Steigerwald was the inker, right?
What'd you say?
Steigerwald's the inker on that book, right?
He's an inker on the book. Yep. It's a literally tattoo cover up. Exactly. But I mean, I really need to know, guys, man. I put this one out. I tattooed you guys for teenage years. That's funny. Hey, guys. All right. But hey, this don't look bad, right? I mean, I thought I actually was thinking on my, thinking wit with this one. Okay, so it's a nice book. Okay, so I got a comment. Okay, so I just wanted to know, this was a disaster. I'm gonna show you guys a before picture of this book next week. I got to dig it out, but there's a before, and it doesn't look this cool. I guarantee that. So hey, man, hey. A bastard recovery mission. I got to give Peter Steigerwald props. But here we go. Ta-da! We talk about Michael Turner. Here you go. Now, this one's sick. Now, you want to talk about sick? This is sick. This is sick. Michael Turner, Jeff Loeb, Peter Steigerwald. And this is the first reappearance of Kara Zor-El, Supergirl. So this is Jeff Loeb brought her back, right? And matter of fact, this is when I went crazy, man. This is when I was like, Michael Turner is, this dude Michael Turner is crazy. Like back in these days, Michael Turner was killing it. Michael Turner was killing it. I have 3 of these raw. See what I'm saying? So Space Case, like you love this era, right? You love this era, right? Like if you got 3 of them, bro, like Michael Turner, like during this era, like did you read this before, Mark?
No, I never got to that.
Hey man, hey, did you see the movie?
I saw the movie, yeah.
Okay,
Both
like
of them?
the scene where Darkseid fights Superman.
On the farm?
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about in like on Apocalypse.
Yeah.
The scene in the comic, it's like epic, dude. Like Michael Turner and Steigerwald, they killed it, dude. Like,
yeah,
I like it. I was like a fangirl, like, oh my god, this is crazy. And then this started it all. What y'all know about this? Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. Since we're talking about Superman and Batman, I want to throw a both in there. This is Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness. Ed McGuinness was my favorite artist for a long time. Let me know in the comments how the 6th they are doing. Man, I got that joint signed by Michael Turner. Here we go. Hey, man. We're part of the same club. But this one here, though, man, you got Loeb and McGuinness. Now we're still going to the past. Look at this, guys. Now this is what? Something 500. What book is this, Mark? You know this one. You got it.
Adventures of Superman 500.
Adventures of Superman 500. Look at that, man. Got Bogdanoff on there, Brett Breeding, Walt Simonson, Doug Hazelwood, Dan Jurgens, Mike Carlin, Dennis Janke did a remark, Louise Simonson. Now we're going back. We're going back, guys. So I gave you some modern. Now we're going back. 6-layer style. And we're trying to give Superman props tonight, guys. Just to so you guys know. Let me just go back here real momentarily. It's Superman versus Batman tonight, guys. It's Superman versus Batman tonight. And we talked about James Gunn already. We talked about that already. Now we're talking about these books here. Now we're talking about these books here. First Cyborg Superman, yep. First Steel. Who else, Mark?
Cyborg Superman, Superboy, Steel, and the Eradicator.
There you go. Hey, Space Case Collectibles doing God's work. Use your hashtag. That reminds me. Oh, we need 4 more, guys. Unlock it tonight. We need 4 more entries. And we're giving away 2 sketches. Make our night. Make our night. We need 15 to unlock tonight's prize. We need 4 more entries, guys. Use your hashtag. And the hashtag he's talking about is Stash Wars Live. Use Stash Wars Live to unlock tonight's prize. I want to draw tonight, guys. All right. So here we go. This here is John Byrne-Sig alert. John Byrne-Sig alert. And Arthur Adams. And this is an Art Adams cover. This is the first annual Action Comics of the John Byrne run. We were talking about John Byrne, right? Speaking of John Byrne, this is the first Darkseid cover on Superman. And this is a John Byrne cover. This is Superman number 3 from 1987. What y'all know about this? Y'all remember this? This is from that Legends. This is when the Suicide Squad came back and what's her name? Amanda
Waller.
Amanda Waller made her first appearance in Legends.
Yeah,
but,
that's one of my favorite crossovers, man. That one's great.
But this is like one of my favorite Darkseid covers.
Yeah.
And this is his first cover appearance on Superman. Think about all the battles Superman and Darkseid had. And this is the first one on a Superman title right here by John Byrne.
I think before this, he was only really in New Gods and all the Kirby books, the Fourth World books. And then I think he makes like an appearance in the Justice League for Crisis, and then he's in like Superman's pal, like in the background and stuff, like
Right,
really
yeah.
Superman's
And then
about to
there's
get.
New God stuff. He's in New God stuff, but I'm
Yeah.
saying he's in Justice League stuff. But as far as on Superman, on Superman the title, that's
Yeah,
his first cover appearance.
He makes a
That's
big
his first
appearance.
cover appearance right there. Yeah, we show him fire tonight, and it's but wait, there's more, and then you're going next.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. Check this out. By our friend Howard Chaykin. This is Superman 400.
Yeah.
This is a wallop right here, guys. When we talk about 6 layers, this is what we're talking about. You got Bill Sienkiewicz, the writer Elliot S. Maggin, cover artist Howard Chaykin, OG Mike Grell, rest in peace Bernie Wrightson, and then you have Frank Miller. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times signed. Holla at your boy. And then, but guess what? Did you know this is a double cover, Mark?
No, what do you mean that's a double? You mean the back cover also?
The back cover,
yeah, the Miller cover
has
right.
Miller on the back.
Yeah,
Look at
Miller
that.
twice on there.
I got Frank Miller twice. I got Frank Miller here on the back, and rest in peace, Crafty Comics. That's why you can see this, because it is blessed with a Crafty Comics clear backing board.
Yeah, it's crazy about this one. I always thought that Miller back cover looked kind of like the Nicolas Cage Superman. You've seen Nicolas Cage's costume, right, for Superman?
That's trash, though. But this one, yeah. It looks better in Miller than it does on
Nick
Cage. But this here.
Yeah, I think Chaykin knocked it out of the park on that cover.
And you know what? This is the first time I had Howard Chaykin sign a book, and I got a positive interaction. He was like, "Oh man, I remember this book. I love this. I had a great time." Blah, 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 blah. I was like, "Oh wow, I should bust out some more of these." And then, last but not least, what is Frank Miller's first Batman cover? That's the question.
It's World's
That's
Fine.
the question. Frank Miller's first Batman cover. Do anyone know in the chat? We got a bunch of brainiacs here. Does anyone know Frank Miller's first Batman cover? Here we go. Space Case Collectibles, Dark Knight Returns. And I'm going to say that is incorrect. I'm going to show you what it is. Space Case Collectibles. It's this. It's this. This is, I think, no, this is this here. I'm giving it to you, Comic Mike. This is his first cover with Batman on it. And this is, I think, from like 1980. And it's signed by Frank Miller and Dick Giordano. Look at this. Look at this is how Frank Miller drew Batman before Dark Knight. I believe this is Frank Miller's first DC cover in general. If I'm not mistaken, this is Frank Miller's first cover. A Christmas Special was the first interior. Never seen this book. Yes, this is World's Finest, 285. I believe this is 1982. Hey man, and this is the oldest book of the day. And I wanted to give you guys a little lesson, a little trivia on my last book. And so look, if you haven't seen this book, let alone a book signed by Frank Miller and Dick Giordano, because that's how we roll. We try to give cats history here. Mark, before you go,
what's up?
We need 4 more, guys. 4 more. Let me know how I did. How did my Superman haul look? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys approve? Give me fire emojis, guys, if you like my Superman haul. We're trying to pump up the Man of Steel, guys. We're trying to pump him up. All right? Let us know. Let us know how we did. You know, we're having a Superman stash war right now. All signed comics. I mean, what was your favorite book that I showed?
I like the Oh Deadly Dark Side one, the John Byrne one. You know, I'm a big Dark Side Jack Kirby fan, and I think that John Byrne gave a lot of love to Kirby in that time. A lot of love to Darkseid.
Yeah, Space Case. I love it. I love it. Yeah, man, Giordano. I gotta say, man, it had to clean that cover up. Yeah, man. I think Giordano is one of the best inkers, DC inkers ever. The one with the bastard remarks. Hold on. Space Case Collectibles. He said that this one was the best one, his favorite one. Hell yeah. That makes me feel good. Because I had to put in where I had to beg Peter Steigerwald. He didn't want to do these. He was like, man, nah, dude. I was like, dude, you can do it, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You can do it, bro. And he did it, man. It took him like 20 minutes to convince this cat, though. Like real spit. That took it took a while. This was at WonderCon like 3 or 4 years ago. Neil Adams told Frank Miller his stuff was horrible. Man, what do you guys think about Frank Miller's art now? Did he get better with time? What do you think? He's back. He's back on the racks right now. Let us know how Frank Miller's doing. All right, Mark, you solo, baby. What you got?
So I just got some of the classics, man. So I got I'm gonna do the same as you and go back in time. So I got Action Comics 1000.
Okay.
So mine always have less than Mike's. I got Simonson, Dan Jurgens, Jim Lee, Brad Meltzer, John Workman, Bendis, Tom King, Jeff Johns, Peter J. Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, Garcia Lopez, Luis Simonson, Danny Mickey, and Kevin Nolan on this one.
Space Case said Miller got much, much worse.
Yeah, man, I can't argue with that. So,
all right, so you got to tatted up Action Comics 1000. Okay.
Another classic, Superman Birthright. Got the man Mark Waid on there.
Man, you got to get your camera game together. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I'm trying to.
That's the last time I'm gonna bitch at you. That's the last time I'm gonna bitch at you, man. I swear I ain't gonna bitch at you no more.
So you guys don't have to look at me too long. So that one has Lionel Francis here and Mark Waid. So
where'd you see Lionel Francis you at?
At Baltimore. He was at Baltimore.
What, when we were there?
Yes. He was like the main guest on there.
Bro, I slipped.
Come on, man. He was the main guest. Okay, so we got What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way. So this one has Lee Bermejo on it. It's got Tim Bradstreet on it. And then it's got Doug Mankey on it. Still need Joe Kelly on this one. And then we got another classic. So first Steel, first Superboy, first Eradicator, and first Cyborg Superman. So I got Tom Grummett, Louis Simonson, John Bogdanov, Carl Kessel, Tom Grummett, Dan Jurgens, and Brett Breeding on this one. Still need a lot more, man, on this one. And then, so I wanted to show this one. I was talking a little earlier during my soapbox.
Your soapbox. Go ahead. Get back on it.
This one's not signed, but I talked about.
Oh, yeah. I remember those with that. Yeah, you got the rare one.
Yeah, I talked about DC Comics almost becoming Superman comics. So this is one of those ones. It was a variant cover back in the days.
Like 87 or some shit like that?
Yeah, 87. Justice League number 3. So this is the variant cover with the Superman Comics logo. So that's all I have to show.
That's all you got. Okay, all right. So guys, call in right now. Let us know what was the dopest comic you saw tonight. Let us know in the chat. Or give us a call right now. The link is in the chat right now. Let us know what's up. SCG saying, yeah, he was there last year. There was no signage. Okay, so I don't feel as bad, dude. I do not remember him being there. And it's not like Baltimore was like this huge con floor. So it's like, I can't believe I didn't really. That's crazy. That's crazy. Please call in. The link is right on the screen. The link is right in the chat. It will be an audio call. What was your favorite comic you saw tonight? And any other topic that pertained to tonight's topics. We talked about James Gunn, Superman. Mark went on his soapbox about Superman. I wish I was around for that. We also talked about who will win the year in comics, Superman or Batman, because of it's the year of Superman because of the movie, but Batman is just the juggernaut as it pertains to DC Comics. And will the movie give the comics a little bit of push, especially with Dan Slott doing Superman Unlimited? And then we got Superman 25 that had a I think it was like a jumbo size issue where it had Dan Moore and a couple other artists in it. And then Jorge Jimenez did a little Superman snippet in the summer Superman special. And then at the same time, right, Superman 25 came out, but also we had Batman 159 Hush. That came out this week, and that could definitely impact things. And I honestly think, okay, do you think, Mark, do you think that Hush is going to slow down, or you think it's going to be steady numbers each issue?
No, man. I think right now it probably came to a hard stop. Not a stop, but I think it slowed down a lot because Jim Lee was promoting the hell out of the first issue. Golden Apple, Collector's Paradise, and then even a comic shop up north. And then, there's always the bump for the first issue. So I think the second issue might suffer a little bit, depending on the ratings. If people say it's good, they might come back and pick it up.
Well, I'm saying, what do you think is going to have consistent numbers, parts 1 through 6? Do you think it's going to be a consistent seller, right? You don't think so?
No, not really.
You don't think Jim Lee's going to sell comics for 6 consecutive issues?
Well, I think it was a big jump from issue 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are going to be consistent. But I don't think they're going to reach as much numbers as issue 1 had.
Well, no, I'm just saying consistent numbers. I mean, obviously the first issue is always going to be, but I'm saying, is it going to have good numbers? Like it's going to be a spike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, obviously the kickoff issue is always going to, sell a lot. But the question is, will it have consistent numbers from issues 1 through 6?
Yeah, it'll be consistent. Yeah.
I think so too. And just to show some of this stuff on the Superman angle here, we got Superman stuff. Like I said, summer Superman dropped 2 weeks ago. Superman 25 just dropped this week along with Batman 159. So, and this had, Rob Grassetti, Eddie Burrows, Iber Ferreira, Dan Mora, Jamal Campbell. These are the multiple artists on this supersized book. Lex Luthor's back in the mix here, and then you have Dan Slott on Superman for the first time with Superman Unlimited. Let us know. Are you excited about Dan Slott doing Superman? Let us know what you think about Dan Slott. I'm curious to find out what everyone thinks about the summer of Superman. Call in. Let us know. The link is in the chat right now. Let us know. What do you think about Dan Slott? What do you think about Superman versus Batman in comics? Let us know. We're really curious to know what you think about that. Oh, here we go. Dan Slott. Well, that's what SCG thinks, right? So, Wooly, is there anything that you like from Dan Slott, Mark?
Dude, I like Dan Slott. I don't know what Jason's talking about, man. I like one of my favorite Spider-Man stories is New Ways to Die. That's when Eddie Brock gets the anti-Venom symbiote and Meg Gargan has the Venom symbiote and they clash. I don't know. I think that's a cool storyline. I didn't mind the Brand New Day story with Mr. Negative and all that. And then he went on for I think that's what Jason's talking about like the burnout. He did the Superior Spider-Man story, which I think the whole run was great. And then he ended it in like issue 800 with Go Down Swinging. I thought that was all right. But he did a lot of the introduction for like the Agent Venom stuff. you know, I thought it was cool. I didn't like Spider Island.
SCG said Dan was serviceable for a little while on Amazing Spider-Man. Overstayed his welcome. Horrible on Fantastic Four.
Didn't read his Fantastic Four stuff. So
there you have it. And I think some artists, I mean, some writers need to know that their strengths, just like there are strengths and weaknesses with artists, there's strengths and weaknesses with writers. Writers can't write everything. Like for example, I think Scott Snyder writes better horror and dark noirish type stories. I don't think he does well with sci-fi. Yeah. I don't think sci-fi superhero, but I think his Batman stuff that's more detective driven, noirish, or his indie stuff that's more horror based. I think he sticks the landing with those a little bit better than trying to do scientific stuff. And so I think, you know, some writers need to know their strengths and weaknesses. And like my man SEG saying here, he's saying that he was horrible in Fantastic Four. So maybe he's not good with team books, right? Maybe he's better with solo books and not good with team books. But he's going to be on Superman Unlimited. So he's going to be here. And I'm curious. I don't know. Are you picking this up? I don't know if I'm picking it up, though.
I'll pick it up, man.
I don't know if I'm picking it up.
I've had less and less time to read, though, you know? So.
And wait a minute. He's with Raphael Albuquerque, right?
Yeah.
Never mind. I am picking this up. Yeah, he's with Raphael Albuquerque. I rocks with Raphael Albuquerque. Let's check to see where we at. We're still stuck at 11, guys. We still got more show left, but
I think, man, I think
we need 4 more. We have 9 people in the chat. Put in your hashtag Stash Wars Live. Use your hashtag. As the wise one said, the wise one, Space Cakes Collectibles here. Use your hashtag. The hashtag is Stash Wars Live. Use it, ladies and gentlemen. Use your hashtag. Mark, show them what.
So we got. Man, wait! I lost the prizes right now because
they in between the comics.
Yeah, they're in between the comics. Here, let me get them real quick. They're right here. So we got Scott Koblish, Dustin Wynn sketch, both from the Superman Day event at the Warner Brothers Studio Store in Burbank.
Use your hashtag, and you're getting a graphic novel. And you're getting a signed graphic novel. We need 4 more, man. Somebody text your homeboys. Hop on the live. All you need is 4 people. All you need is 4 people. Hop on the live. Tell them to hop on the live. Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. Hashtag Stash Wars Now. We need 4 more. 4 more. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay. And then, like I said, we shout out to Space Case Collectibles. Shout out to Albert Bells for hopping in on the live tonight. The live is open. Let us know what you think about Superman. Will Superman make a comeback? Are you interested in Superman making a comeback? I think Albert brought up a good point of people relate more with Batman. So is Superman past his prime? Is he an effective character to meet the public needs? And then you got manga and anime and that whole world where a lot of our youth are gravitating toward that those are the superheroes of today, kind of.
Yeah.
So where does Superman, right? Where does Superman land in the psyche of, you know, fans? Is he a passe character? You know, like I mean, think about this. Once upon a time, Shazam, aka Captain Marvel, was more prominent, and he's not as prominent as he was, not even by a long shot. But Superman, he might have lost his prime. And think about the world that we're living in. We're in a world that probably celebrates Homelander more than Superman, right?
Yeah.
So Superman, like I said, a lot of people that are Superman fans, like diehard Superman fans, I've never met a jerk Superman fan. There might be. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying I haven't met one. And I know a lot of Superman fans. And they're usually optimistic. And a lot of the the themes that go with being a Superman fan, they embody, and they're optimistic, jolly kind of people, right? Some of them might lift weights and crap to try to be like the Man of Steel and all that crap. You know, I met like a lot of different kinds of Superman fans. They might not even be comic book fans, but they identify with Superman. And so here's another question. You know, is Superman past his prime? Do people give a shit about Superman anymore? Right? So even with all of the hoopla, right? You got Dan Slott. You got Dan Slott on Superman Unlimited, right? You got Dan Slott, Jorge's back for a little bit, James Gunn ushering in this new era with Superman. The Superman movie is actually coming out. You got B, C-list characters making their first silver screen appearance. Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific. So this all looks fun, but will it amount to a hill of beans compared to Jim Lee's Hush, right? Because think about this. Superman 25 came out this week, and so did Batman 159. I would love to see how this comic did compared to this comic. I would love to see. They both came out this week. Does Superman have any juice left to stand up against the Caped Crusader? That's the question. And we had a stash war. You know, this is probably still one of my favorite Superman books on. So we showed you guys, even to give Superman some juice, we wanted to hype up Superman. So I could have busted out a gauntlet of Batman. And shout out to, I want to say DeClaw, because I am going to do a top 20 book. And you do one too. Not next week, though. We're going to have a panel next week. And we're going to foreshadow that too. But the chat is open. Let us know. Let us know. What do you think? Will Superman make a comeback? Or will it be a natural ho-hum year for Batman, right? Because here's what I predict, Mark.
What's up?
I predict that there'll be some interest in Superman in the summer. But then I think Batman, I'm going to say I'm going to say Hush number 1. Batman 158. That's going to be the top seller for DC this year. And then I think number 2 is going to be Batman number 1.
Well, if you heard what I said earlier, that DC doesn't push Superman like that. They always push Batman. They give him the best writers. They give him the best artists. And you know, like Superman gets great runs, but they don't advertise it. They don't. The only ones that I saw them really advertise was when Brian Michael Bendis came to Superman or came to DC Comics. But it wasn't it, man. It didn't work that well. And then when John Romita Jr. and it's always them coming from Marvel to DC. That's when they advertise it. So when John Romita,
this is a big draw. Jason Aaron too. I think he's doing a Superman something or other.
Oh,
too.
and he did Superman also, yeah. But they pushed him when he was on Batman Off-World. But when John Romita Jr. came to DC to do Superman, they pushed that. And, you know, that was mixed reviews. And then so now we're seeing Dan Slott come to DC, and we're going to see how this works. And hopefully it's something good. You know, if that works, then maybe there's hope. And then, you know, the Superman sales will rise up. But every now and then he gets a good run. And man, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe the Superman runs in the recent years have been batting more than the Batman runs, man. So I might throw that out there.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to go into a Superman deep dive in upcoming months just to check on the state of affairs, because Philip Kennedy Johnson, his run kind of made me want to look at his Action Comics, and after our recent interview with him, and so I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna start with him on down. I already read the Bendis, already got the Bendis, didn't like that. So from after Bendis on, I'm lost with Superman.
Yeah,
and I actually didn't want anything to do with Superman after that. I wanted a detox for a while. Ooh, what we have here? Some characters are cool despite bad artists or writers. Some characters have to have good writers / artists to understand the character, interpret them properly, and do a compelling story. 100% agree, SCG. I definitely agree with that, man. Like there's some characters are just have good premise where you have to be bad to screw it up. And then there's a certain characters where you need a Jeff Johns to work with to extract the value of that character, because the common eye can't see what's rocking with this character and shouldn't touch it, right? I 100% agree with that. And it's starting to believe, I'm starting to believe that Superman is kind of like that now. He's he's drifting far and far back into the background. And yeah, what's up?
I didn't say anything, but Mike, are we gonna get all the hashtags, man? It looks like we need 4 more, and I'm not sure if the people are giving them to us.
Yes, man. Share this live, guys. Let them know we need 4 more. We're giving away 2 sketches. But Space Case is saying, I feel like Batman is generally written better. Now, here's something that who said it? Daryl Banks. When we interviewed Daryl Banks said that there's he was talking about at DC at the time when he was working there.
Yeah.
That there's varsity and JV kind of teams. And Batman, Superman, Justice League, especially at that time in the 90s, they represent the varsity, right? So those titles are going to get the best writers, right? And the writers gotta want to do a lower tier character like a Jeremy Adams doing Aquaman, right?
Yeah.
They gotta want to do that in order for that caliber of writer to want to venture to a B, C tier character. Otherwise, they're gonna give them a whole universe, give them the Bat universe, have them quarterback that, and make the other writers and creative team do the derivatives of whatever this guy creates, right? And so that Batman has always been curated well. I would say since maybe the Denny O'Neil days in the 80s, maybe even Dick Giordano days. I would say mainly Denny O'Neil, Dick Giordano too, but Denny O'Neil, when he was the editor, that's when Batman, from that point on, right, from Dark Knight Returns on, Batman has always had a high level writer and artist, right? So Superman, on the other hand, they've always tried to give Superman somebody. Think about Jason Aaron, Brian Michael Bendis. We got Joshua Williamson. You got Mark Waid on it now. Dan Slott left Marvel. Now he's on DC. He's messing with Superman. Why isn't Superman working? It's not for a lack of trying. I repeat, I believe Superman hasn't been good since Brainiac. Consistently. Since Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, since the Jeff Johns Action Comics era. That's when Superman felt like Superman. That's when Superman and everything kind of felt familiar yet new at the same time. Superman always seemed to me like it was written for a younger audience. And I do think that. I think that Superman, like I said, and think about this, the younger audience is not paying attention. They're on to other things. So the people that like Superman are either older or they like old things, right? The same could be said about comics in general, to be honest with you. But if we're talking about Superman versus Batman, I think Superman is, even with the movie, it's about 2 states away. It's 2 states away from Batman, and it ain't catching up. Yeah, my point is that you have a great creative team, Johns and Frank, and it works. See, exactly. See, man, me and SCG, man, we on the same page, man. We're on the same page. Let us know what you think, man. Last call for callers right here. We definitely want to know what you think as we try to get to 15. We need 4 more, guys. This is more than what we had last week, though. So I give everybody credit. But let's unlock. Let's unlock this, guys. Show them what we're working with.
So again, we have 2 sketches from the Superman Day event at the Warner Brothers Studio store. One from Scott Koblish, the other from Dustin Nguyen. And then we also talking about Superman versus Batman. We have World's Finest, written by Mark Waid, signed by Mark Waid. Great Dan Mora art. So call in, put hashtag Stash Wars Live. Anything you can do. Johnny Dome, Gunn will do amazing. The lawsuit.
Johnny Dome, put in hashtag Stash Wars Live for us. Hashtag Stash Wars Live as I read your comment. Gunn will do amazing. The lawsuit finished with DC win. I believe in James Gunn. Where is it at? Where's it at here? Hold on 1 second. Right here at the overlays. I believe in him. I think everything that James Gunn did so far on DC has been great. I want to give him Penguin, even though he didn't do Penguin. He had nothing to do with Penguin. But I just feel like, damn, man, I hated that Batman movie. But the Penguin was so great. I want to give James Gunn credit, but I know he had nothing to do with it. But like James Gunn is he's killing it to me. And I agree with you. Please put in hashtag Stash Wars Live for everyone. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. There we go. Let's see where we at here. All right, we need 3 more, guys, to unlock the prize. We need 3 more to unlock the prize. Let's unlock it. We need 3 more. Tell a friend. We need 3 more. Tell them stop hating. And while you guys here, take a moment and smash the like button too, guys. But tell them stop hating at the same time. We need 3 more, guys. We need 3 more. We can do it. You can do it, guys. We want to give you these are special Superman Day sketches, guys. So they're like you can't get these anywhere. So like when you guys say you got them from the 6 layer station, we're giving you something unique. Like, and that's what we try to do, man. We know what we're giving y'all. We're giving y'all stuff that people wouldn't even want to give y'all because they too greedy. See what I'm saying? So we hooking you guys up. You know, we the 6 layers for a reason. So we got missions. And see, this guy right here is already coming with the hot takes. I love it. Creature Commandos is great. The Suicide Squad. Exactly. You must have just came in, Johnny Dome. I just said this earlier. Almost verbatim on what you said. I said Creature Commandos was good. Suicide Squad was way better than the first one. And Peacemaker was freaking hilarious. It wasn't just good. It was great. Exactly what you said, Johnny Dome. Like, for real. And so for me, as a DC fan, I can say I love Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. And I think it was a 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 was good.
I liked all 3.
I was indifferent about number 2.
I liked all 3. So James Gunn, I don't see. And then somebody chatted earlier and mentioned that somebody is hating or Snyder was hating and doesn't want James Gunn to do things. And
no, the Snyder bros, the fans. So Snyder.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, stop. I don't know this. So you saying Zack Snyder has fans, and they call themselves Snyder Bros?
Yeah, the Snyder Bros, man.
I don't know this, man. You're telling me.
There's like a legion of people that were really down with the Snyderverse. And then the Snyderverse wasn't perfect, man. But there was people that really liked it and everything, and they were trying to boycott anything that James Gunn was doing because they wanted the Snyderverse to come back. The Snyderverse is dead, man. Like
it's dead, bro.
It had its time. They messed it up. It could have been good. I thought a lot of the stuff that Snyder was bringing was was all right. Like I liked the aesthetic and everything, and I liked what he was doing with the Snyder cut and everything. Like, like it got messed up, man. Like it could have been good, but now it's James Gunn's turn. Give him all your love, you know. Hopefully he does good. Hopefully this new Superman movie's good, and hopefully DC has a great universe coming out and everything.
They were the ones that got the extended Justice League to come out by internet trolling. Okay, so now that I know I heard of them. I just know that they were a noun like the Snyder Bros.
Yeah.
That's pretty fanatical. The Snyder's Bros review bombed the Godzilla vs King Kong movie just because it's one of us. Oh, so yeah, so well, I'm gonna say this. Who cares about them? And I would say this, man. Have your own opinion anyway, man. Because there's plenty of movies that people thought that sucked, or people said that sucked that I thought was cool. And there's way more movies that people thought was cool that sucked. Like Endgame. I did not like Endgame. I thought Endgame sucked. Now I said it. Everybody and mama thought it was good. Endgame was overrated. I liked Infinite.
In my opinion, I didn't like it either.
I liked whatever the first part was. I liked part 1. Part 2 was boo-boo. And I didn't like the first Avengers movie. So everybody was glazing that shit. I didn't like none of that. The Avengers movies was whack. The only good Avenger movie was the one with Thanos, the first part, where Infinity War or whatever it was called. That's it. And then to me, Captain America was holding it down. Hold down the MCU. Captain America had the dopest movies, dude. Winter Soldier was, man, Samuel L. bucking on the cops, man. Come on, dude. Come on. That was awesome. He had a booby trapped Suburban bucking on the police, bro. That is insane. That is insane. Winter Soldier, to me, is still the GOAT. Sounds like local paint company. But yeah, for people first hated Keaton casting. Yeah, man. Michael Keaton to me is good, man. All that stuff. I might be nostalgic and all that, but at the end of the day, though, back to the Snyderverse. Let's just put that to bed. Put it this way. James Gunn's all the stuff is not mired in controversy like the Justice League was, right? So forget all that. We on a new frontier, no pun intended, right? And James Gunn is running it, and so far he hasn't missed. So, and like I said, I want to give him the Penguin. Even though he didn't do the Penguin. Okay, that's how much I like James Gunn. I want to give him the Penguin. Let's give him the Penguin. This is just to put it over the edge, man. Like he made the Penguin good too. I'm just messing around. Okay, man. So nobody's gonna call in, but we do have 3 more slots left. 3 more, guys. Oh my God, we're so close to unlocking these sketches. It is insane. I hope we do. Let us know. But we're going to move on with the rest of the show because we do have more show to talk about. All right. We're here with the 6 Layers update. Okay. Now, first off, man, we're going to talk about our next week's guest, Sabir Prasada. Mark, you met Sabir. He's actually our first MCU anything. Since we were talking about DC stuff, this is our first writer, and for the MCU, he's written an episode for Miss Marvel, and he's done a lot of work on Moon Knight. And so he's our first MCU guest, and he also written the Miss Marvel. I think a one-shot. Wasn't a one-shot.
This is the miniseries with
a miniseries with what's her name?
Iman Vellani.
Break it down, man. You know more than me, man.
So he worked with Iman Vellani on Miss Marvel, New Mutant, and yes, you're right. He wrote one of the episodes for Miss Marvel, but before that, he was working on Moon Knight. And right now, or a little earlier in the year, he did a one-shot for the Horizon Experiment. That was headed by Pornsak Pichashot, and his was called The Sacred Damned, and it was a Muslim version of John Constantine, or that's how it was sold. It was maybe a Muslim version of John Constantine. And right now, he just finished up a mini series called Spirits of Vengeance, a Ghost Rider story, and that's moving into Spirits of Violence, and I believe they're on issue 2 right now.
Boom. Yes. So he's doing the Ghost Riders, writing generations of Ghost Riders. And we talk about that. We talk about his experience writing and being a part of Marvel Studios. And yeah, so it was a real treat. And he's a great guest. And he gives us a real snapshot of what it's like to be in an MCU's writer's room. Okay. And so, yeah, but I want to talk about what Johnny Dome was talking about here. Penguin is sort of part him by not being a control freak like most execs. That's a good point, man. Being an assist man like Magic Johnson, the no look pass. I dig that because, you know, he could have came in there, swung his Johnson around, and put the kibosh on some stuff. So I could see that happening. And so letting that Matt Reeves project keep going, even though I didn't like the Batman movie. I did not. Okay, did not like that movie. Huh?
I liked it, man.
Man, you should not be hearing Batman clunk around in boots, bro. Period. Why you spend all that time in Namda Parbat and Japan to be walking around in some Timberlands, bro? So people can hear you in the shadows. Get the hell out of here.
I thought the fit was
Get
hard,
the
man.
hell out of here.
I thought
what?
the fit was hard. At
Man,
least,
that shit was, man.
At least every time he talked, it didn't sound like he had a chicken wing stuck in his throat, like Christian Bale, man.
Bro, okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a Batman fan you think I am?
You're like 11, man. You're like
okay.
20.
So if I fell asleep 3 times watching one Batman movie, bro, it can't be good. It cannot be good, bro. If I'm falling asleep on it, bro, multiple times, it can't be that good. Okay, guys, settle this debate. How did you guys feel about the Batman movie, the Matt Reeves movie? I thought it was hot garbage.
Don't call in, man.
Hot. You can call in on that right now. What did you guys think about the Matt Reeves Batman, man? I thought it was trash.
Here, put the link back up for Johnny Dome, man. He's been commenting a lot, man.
Who? Yeah, I'm about to put the link up right now. I'm about to put the link up.
Man.
Hey, man, you guys can win a prize. I'm sorry, I'm bobbing and weaving around because I'm trying to see around my screens and stuff. There it is right there. Come on, man. Did you guys like Twilight as Batman? Okay.
It made sense, man. He was
what made sense?
He was a vampire, and then he became Batman, man. I don't know.
That's what we call them vampires these days. He was really a vampire, or did he just need? Or just did he need to like a blood cola?
I liked the vibe. I liked the world that they build. I liked how they were creating the drug drops and everything. I like that it took place during Halloween. I don't know.
Johnny Dome here, Supergirl movie and Clayface movie. Dude, Clayface, I would love how they do that. I would love to see how they do that. But like I said, man, I proceed with caution when it comes to these live actions because, you know, all because the idea in theory sounds good, but then it has to be a good cinematic project, and it has to be somewhat true to the source material. It doesn't have to be strict on it, but it can't just go all off like how with Dark Knight Rises made Bane from the Middle East. You can't do no crap like that. Okay.
Yeah,
you can't make Bane Middle Eastern, bro.
Yeah, I was kind of sad about
that was stupid. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Like you could take some artistic liberties, but don't go all the way to Albuquerque with it, bro. Okay, here. Jewish Dragons in the house. What up, man? Somebody call in. Batman's all about stealing fear in the criminals. So the clomping boots didn't bother me. Zoe Kravitz alone sold it for me. Okay. But respect that it was very slow plotting. It was slow as hell, man. Ambient, bro. Like, I like white noise. I like ocean sounds to go to sleep, bro. Or I can watch that Matt Reeves Batman. It's like one or the other is going to knock me the F out.
I love that scene, though, man. When he shows up to the gang, and they're like, "Who are you supposed to be?" And then he like, pow, pow, pow. I don't know. I like
Clayface supposed to be horror. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. If they do it right, I'm cool. Snyder casting Lobo as Aquaman, Gunn casting yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like Snyderverse, you had your shot. Okay, I'll give them credit for Henry Cavill as Superman. That was a good casting. Gal Gadot was a good casting. No one liked what's Aquaman, even though Aquaman wasn't a bad movie, but that wasn't Aquaman, bro. Here it is. There, my guy. SCG to my rescue.
Hey man.
SCG to my rescue.
Maybe because I like emo music, man. Maybe because I like stuff like My Chemical Romance.
SCG to my rescue. He said it, I didn't, bro. It was too emo for me, bro. It was too emo. Even the clunky boots was emo, bro. The clunky boots was emo. I couldn't dig it, man. I couldn't dig it. And I'm sorry, guys. Let me know. Were you guys really afraid of that Batman? I thought I could take that Batman, bro. He could have his utility belt, bro. He could have it. That dude did not scare me. Hold on. Who said it? I think it was Jewish Dragon said it. Batman's all about instilling fear in criminals. So the clump and boots didn't bother me. I got to disagree, Jewish Dragons, bro. No, he needed the boots to instill fear because he's not scary. The dude, man, I can munch that guy. You talking about Twilight? Who's scared of Twilight? Ain't nobody scared of Twilight, bro.
I think Johnny Dome has it right here, though, man. I think he would have fit Red Hood over Batman.
There you go. Somebody whiny ass Jason Todd, yes. And how he was shitting on Alfred. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't deal with that guy. And then a Nirvana playing all day, man. I'm like, bro, like, I'm going to sleep.
Hey,
I'm sleeping.
So you're talking about the Suicide Squad, the original movie. Didn't you like how it had an original soundtrack, though? Didn't you like how all the songs were brand new and they released that as an original soundtrack?
You talking about the Suicide Squad?
Yeah, for the Suicide Squad. I enjoyed it. I like that aspect of it. And they never really did that with any other movie. I think they did it a little with Birds of Prey. Like Doja Cat had like a brand new song in there. But like none of the other movies had like brand new songs.
Man,
like
you lost me at Doja Cat. Let me know you listening to Doja Cat, guys.
I like Doja Cat.
I like Doja, but not Doja Cat. Okay, anyway. Guys, you guys are making me hype right now. Talking about all this. This comment right here, this bangs right here. I dig it, man. Like, yeah, Twilight should have been Jason Todd, dude. He's way more Jason Todd. I think the conundrum with a live action Batman is true indeed. Bruce Wayne and Batman are really two polar opposite characters. Either you're a good Bruce Wayne and a sucky Batman, or a good Batman and a sucky Bruce Wayne. It's one or the other. Like it's really so hard to pull off both. But it was meant for comic books. Peacemaker was a better wrestler turned actor than Black Adam. Oh my God, Black Adam. Hey, Johnny Dome, you can't mention that one. Okay, suppress memory.
I thought
Black Adam is like
right,
my
man.
Zernar. You know what I mean? That's like my Zernar trigger phrase. Like I do. Like we gotta not talk about Black Adam. What a whack way to bring in the Justice Society.
The problem with that was that he didn't fight Captain Marvel, though, man. That was The Rock's fault for saying, no, I'm not gonna fight Captain Marvel. I need to fight Superman.
But see, that's the thing. Like, that's the shitty thing about these movies. I don't know who said the precedent first. I think it was Venom. How you gonna have a Venom movie without Spider-Man? How you gonna have a Joker movie without Batman? How you gonna have a Black Adam without Shazam? It's stupid. I don't want to see it. And then you put Justice Society in the mix, and they are horrible. That Hawkman pissed me off. The Cyclone, all of them were freak. That movie was garbage. And then
even Dr. Fate, you didn't like
okay,
Dr.
hold
Fate?
on, wait a minute. Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan. I I'm like, dude, when did James Bond get the Helmet of Fate? I'm
I
like,
thought he
what
was
is a
cool as Dr.
crossover? I thought it was a crossover. I thought it was what was it? Dynamite? I forgot who owns James Bond, but I thought it was a crossover. I'm like, when did James Bond get the Helmet of Fate, bro? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But no, here's the other thing. Don't you got is that Elon's cat name?
I'm from a different generation.
The Rock chose the character he would have been. Now, don't get me wrong.
If he was Lex, maybe.
Use your hashtag, guys. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. We're trying to win this prize. We need 3 more people. We need 3 more people to unlock this, guys. We will go crazy. We will go absolutely banana if you guys used your hashtag tonight. Now, Black Adam with no hair, no Shazam. Okay, here's the thing. I think that The Rock looked like the Doug Mankey Black Adam. But he's still The Rock, bro. Okay, Cont'd, right? That's where Black Adam's from. Isn't that in the Middle East?
In the Middle East?
Yeah, Cont'd's in the Middle East, right? So,
Yeah.
like, why this fool didn't have no accent, man? He didn't work on none of his range, bro. He was The Rock, bro. That's what was killing me. But then in the flashbacks, those cats had accents. I'm like, bro, so what? This fool says Shazam and this fool's all of a sudden from LA now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't roll with that, man. Hey, if Black Adam's going to play a Middle Eastern character, and here's the other thing. Not only is a Middle Eastern character, he bangs for his country. He be killing all kind of people for his country, right?
Yeah.
And this dude sound like he from freaking Harlem. Get out of here, man. Like, nah, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Like, I did not like freaking The Rock as Black Adam. If he would have tried to give me a little Middle Eastern accent, I would have gave him a little bit of credit for trying to be an actor. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's like Schwarzenegger being Schwarzenegger in every freaking movie. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that, Rock. Yeah, dude. Like using his American accent was bad, dude. Hey, I would have AI'd his accent or something, bro. They got to overdub anyway. I would have AI'd a Middle Eastern accent on that fool, man, because he needed. Like, I couldn't do it, man. Especially after you saw the flashback when he was younger and all that, and it's like, dude, nah, man. Then you got The Rock. Come on, man. I didn't like it. The Rock has. I mean, he could use some kind of range, man. I mean, he didn't even try at all. So I guess touche, man, of your point, because my man didn't even try to even give you no kind of accent or nothing, right? Like, think about a lot of these UK actors, right? These black UK actors playing gangsters from Compton, and then you look at the interview and they sound like they from freaking, wherever, Oxford or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the UK like that. I'm like, dude, this fool was just playing a Crip on TV, but this dude got a UK accent. But then we got somebody from the States that's playing somebody from the Middle East, and he still sounds like somebody from the States. Come on, dude. Come on, Rock. You killed it. Now, my question, was The Rock's movie a part of the Snyderverse? Was Black Adam a part of the Snyderverse?
Yeah, it was, because it had Henry Cavill.
Oh, then that's case closed. So those Snyder bros need to shut the hell up, okay? Because if the Snyderverse created or is Black Adam's a part of that Snyderverse, that's the death knell right there. Let's go. Let's turn the page. Now, don't get me wrong. Give The Rock some acting lessons or dub him, right? Use his body and use a Middle Eastern dude's voice. I'm even cool with that, man. They do it all the time, man. Like, hey, James Earl Jones wasn't in that Darth Vader suit, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, make this dude work on his range. Make him work on his lip syncing or something. I don't know. He needs to get that together, right?
I like what SCG says right here. Need more practical effects, less CGI, less agenda, more story.
I gotta agree. SCG, he coming with it. If Black Adam did well, the Snyderverse would have continued. That's my point. And that's why I said it was the death knell, man. It's definitely the death knell because the Snyderverse It's gone, man. And here we go. You back? You sideways. There we go. There we go.
There we go. My bad.
It's
Did
all
you hear
good.
that?
I didn't hear you. You was all the way stuck. You got to say that again.
Oh man, yeah, I had an alarm go off right now. But I like SCG's comment right here. Need more practical effects, less CGI, less agenda, more story, better comic book movies.
His
I'm all
contract
for-
can't lose a fight. Yeah, man. Like, you guys are all making too much sense. You guys are making way too much sense. Okay, so we were talking. Like I said, we got Sabir Prasada with us next this Thursday coming up. Our first MCU anything, right? So he's a writer, and we get to talk about, like I said, the back end of the MCU and just that experience. And he worked a lot with the Disney Plus stuff. What else we got going on? Oh, Whatnot. So I got Whatnot Wednesday here. That's my only typo today. It's not going to be Whatnot Wednesday no more, but I'm glad it's here because it's going to be Signature Saturday. So tomorrow at don't tell me 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. Signature Saturdays on Whatnot. All Signature Comics all day tomorrow. Okay, and it's going to be offers, best offers. So it's going to be a best offer show. I like to do different themes each week. So it's going to be best offers. Give me your offers. You see something in the shop, make an offer. Don't be shy. We will have some fun. It's going to be a bunch of shits and giggles. So we go live on YouTube on Fridays and live on Whatnot on Saturday afternoons. And we'll be kicking it 6 Layer Station. And who knows, I might have some guests on there too. So I definitely want to talk about that. Going back, okay, because I'm not over the topic, okay, and then I'll hold on before I say one more thing. Then I also have the eBay store. I just did a whole drop a couple days ago, so I just dropped like another 60 books on there. A lot of what did I put up there this time? Bronze Age, Silver Age, Batman. And then I'm going to be listing some modern sign books on there. I think some modern sign books on there. But I did a lot of vintage stuff this round. And then the next round, I'll do some modern stuff. But let me know if you guys are looking at anything in particular. As you know, I'm a DC guy, so it's going to be that centric. Hold on. The Rock used all of his cars to have Cavill in the movie, made the wrong people mad. So when it didn't do well, it was no-brainer to get rid of it. Damn. And then this, the Superman behind-the-scenes video, the robot metamorpho. Behind-the-scenes video, robot and metamorpho. Where's metamorpho?
You haven't seen Metamorpho yet?
In what?
In the Superman movie, he's in there.
In this movie coming out?
Oi, Mike, come on. Yeah.
Metamorpho was in it too?
Yeah, Metamorpho's in there.
Oh, man. I don't want to hear nobody mouth, man. I don't want to hear nobody mouth, man. James Gunn is over here killing it. He got Metamorpho on the big screen? No way. I did not know that, dude. That's real spit. I did not know that shit, bro. Imagine a new Spider-Man movie ending with the Spider-Man going to the Sony universe. You know what? How do you feel about the Sony universe? I liked Spider-Verse. I didn't like the second Spider-Verse. And then the Venom movies, no.
Yeah, I didn't like the second Spider-Verse.
Now, the Spider-Man movies are kind of both, right?
Spider-Man movies?
What's his name?
Tom Holland?
The Tom Holland. They're kind of like both, right?
The first one,
like
the first
Disney
one,
and Sony.
The first one I really like. Second one didn't like.
Yeah, the second one was all right.
And then the third one is like a nostalgia trap, and it doesn't have a lot of substance to it. There's some good scenes, but a lot of it is carried by nostalgia.
Well, here's the thing. SCG says Mike doesn't know anything about Superman. Wow. Hey, man, we're talking about movies, and I already said I don't care about comic book movies. I'm a comic book fan. We both agree that Superman comics hasn't been good since Gary Frank and Jeff Johns, right? I got a bunch of Superman comics, but the movies, it's like, to me, wake me when it's on TBS or TNT. right? Some of these movies wake me when it's on, Lifetime channel or something. Third one, I forgot 10 minutes after I left the theater. See, some of these movies are hit and miss. The Sony movies were bad because they had to work around not having Spider-Man. So that's what I'm saying. Why make it a Venom movie without Spider-Man? That's what I mean. It's just greedy. It's just greedy. And it ends up being just forgettable trash. Like make good movies, because there is a such thing as superhero fatigue. And you gotta understand, like the generations that are, in their teens now, they probably don't care about all of these superhero movies, and they're probably going to want to see, a One Piece movie, or a DBZ live act. You know what I'm saying? They might want to see some real, like a manga movie. They haven't even started fucking with manga movies yet, right? Like live action manga movies. Like imagine when that starts happening, it's going to be a wrap. So that's what I mean. Like it's only a matter of time. I think they need to do every superhero movie that comes out. I don't believe they have to have like just this volume of movies. Do a good one and make people remember it. Like you don't want just a bunch of crap out there, man. Like what's the point? Because like I said, like some ideas don't even look good live action. Now, like I said, if they gave the animation department half of a movie budget, like for example, if Warner Brothers gave DC Animation like an actual movie budget, they make better DC movies than the actual theatrical films. Tell me in the comments, am I lying? Aren't the DC animated movies, I'm not saying not all of them, but I'm saying on average, the DC animated movies are better than the live action movies. Would you agree with that, Mark, or disagree?
Most of them are, yeah. I think so.
I'm just saying on average, there's not many DC movies because a lot of them bombed, and so they've been treading lightly, right?
Yeah.
Like Batman hasn't came out, and they're saying there's some delays, right? Batman 2, right?
Yeah.
It's delays because it sucks. Okay. Is it going to be good? Who knows? Okay, let me ask you this question. What you think about the Joker?
I liked it. I didn't like the second one.
The first one was all right. I knew the second one was going to be trash.
Well,
you turned it into a musical, a coffee house theater film.
It wasn't the musical that I wanted. If it was a very like somber musical, and like the numbers weren't big and everything, so like I wasn't connecting with it. But I think watching it twice, I understood it a little more the second time. But it's not a spectacular movie, So
it's not, man. And so, but SEG, he agrees DC animated is better, man. And that's what I mean. Like, I think James Gunn, Killing Joke, Batgirl, oh my God, those movies were horrible. Horrible. Okay. Killing Joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. That was horrible, man. I actually saw that in the theater. That movie was in the theater.
At what theater?
It was at select theaters, but it was in Woodland Hills in California.
Okay.
About 20 minutes away from where I lived at the time. And me and some homies went and saw it. And I was really excited to see Killing Joke. But that movie was so bad. And it had Mark Hamill in it too. It was bad. It was really bad. So there was some bad. The Crisis on Infinite Earth movies, I didn't like those movies, the animated movies.
No.
So there wasn't a lot of hits. But
that's what I mean. Like a lot of them, like of course, like Under the Red Hood is like unbeatable.
New Frontier was killer.
New Frontier is good. The book is better on that one.
Batman and Robin was bad, but Cont'd was a good Bruce and bad Batman. Exactly. Tell me who was the best Batman and Bruce Wayne simultaneously live action. Because really the best Batman ever is Kevin Conroy, but that's because he's a voice only, right?
Yeah.
But who has the look, the demeanor of both Bruce Wayne and Batman live action?
I don't think Michael Keaton looked like Bruce Wayne, though. I think that's a for sure. No, I
No.
think Val Kilmer looked like Bruce Wayne. I think Ben Affleck pulled it off a bit. For sure, not George Clooney, man.
Christian Bale was close.
Nah, man, he was too skinny.
I thought Val Kilmer had it, but he was in the wrong movie. I thought Val Kilmer was Batman at the wrong time. You know, like maybe with a different director, a different direction, he might could have made it work. But I can't say with what we saw. Although he was better than George Clooney, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. But Christian Bale, you know what, guys? Batman Begins is the best DC movie to me. Like in the 2000s. Batman Begins is the best. It set it off. It gave Marvel the idea to do MCU. Batman Begins is, to me, it gave me the best first impression of any DC movie. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is great. And then that's it. Everybody liked The Dark Knight Returns or The Dark Knight. I thought it was overrated. I fell asleep at the theater on that one.
It sounds like you're just sleepy, Mike. It sounds like
Nah, dude, I wasn't sleepy. We saw that movie at San Diego Comic-Con, 2008. Yeah, dude. No, I was turned up, and it turned me down, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's a such thing called a turn down. Have you heard of it? There's something that turns your energy so low, you go to sleep, and that's what. But I get it. What's his name? Heath Ledger. He didn't do a bad job. Batman Forever, great Batman. So Clooney, Bruce Kilmer, Batman is good. Yeah, it's those movies though. It's just hard to. They're not good movies. You see what I'm saying? I would say Christian Bale was the best, but he doesn't really. When he's in the Batman suit,
his voice is like, I don't know.
Think about it. Batman Begins is cool because he's mostly Bruce Wayne in it, right?
Yeah.
But then in the other two movies, you see him as Batman, and I don't know, it cuts his mouth off like this. It's like, dude, why is this shit so tight right here? I don't know.
Commissioner Gordon, we need to catch the Joker. Yeah, I don't know.
Where's the fucking Joker? You know?
Yeah. See, you have the same gripe with me on that one, man.
Yeah, I just thought it's
He's a little goofy.
I thought the costume design didn't do him well, you know.
And then the makeup under the eyes, the new Batman has that too, but like, you know, like
hoarse voice Batman. We need 3 more, guys. There's 10 people in the chat. We need 3 more. Use your hashtag. We're talking about. Hold on. Horse Batman is. Hold on. My shit is delaying today. Horse Batman is better than Batman asking about Martha. Yeah, dude. Yeah, with the booty chin. With his chin like a booty. Yeah, man.
Hey, but did you ever think of that though? Like before that movie, were you ever like, hey, there's Martha Wayne and then there's Martha Kent? Like,
I never thought about it, man. And those dudes thought they were cooking in the writer's room, right? Oh my God, Batman and Superman's mother, their both name is Martha. What if they both say Martha profusely throughout the movie?
I think
Martha!
maybe they could have probably done that better.
Hold on. Time out. Was that movie a part of the Snyderverse?
Yes.
Oh my God. I knew that, but come on, man. I just have to highlight how horrible that was. And that there's people calling themselves the Snyder Bros out loud that champions that and don't want to see that new. Like, to me, it's like this. I don't care about the directors and the movie makers. I care about the characters and the legacy of them. Do them right, okay? And I think I speak for all comic book fans. Do the characters right. I don't care if they're Image characters, Dark Horse characters, Marvel characters. Do it justice. Don't go out there and try to do some Tom King trash on the screen. You know what I mean? Where you're like having a coffee scene for like 20 minutes. You know, and it's two headshots the whole time. Here we go. Here's one. What if Superman said his dad's name and who introduced his mother? You know what I mean? Come on, man. It was horrible, man. It was horrible. Batman v Superman. I wanted that movie to be good, and it sucked. And the extended version sucked more. Like, I don't know if you saw the extended version of Lord of the Rings. That was actually a better movie. This movie, how are you going to elongate a turd and have people happy about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go to a carnival and you expecting to get a churro, and they give you a freaking turd wrapped in a napkin with some cinnamon on it. And then you go, oh, man, you gave me a shit turd. And then you give it to them back, and they give you a longer one. Come on, dude. That's what they did. They extended it. Why do you want to extend it? You need to shorten it to like a vignette, okay? I'm pretty sure if that movie was like 5 minutes, it would have been a banger. You condense that movie to 5 minutes, take out about 3 dozen Marthas, and just get it to Do You Bleed and all that stuff. I think we would achieve cinematic greatness, but extending that movie well beyond 10 minutes is a traumatic event for people. No one should see that movie. Normal people say first and last. Exactly, man. Johnny Dome, man. Shout out to you, man, joining us. Please smash the like button. We are about to wrap up soon. We need 3. Tell a friend, man. Text your girl. We just need 3. Stash Wars Live. I love it. This is more than last week, though, so we're growing. But we have enough right now. If 3 people who have not used your hashtag, Stash Wars Live, and Mark, for the last time, will you show us the goods?
So one more time, we got the Dustin Nguyen Superman sketch and the Scott Kobler Superman sketch, both from Superman Day at the Warner Brothers Studio store in Burbank. And then show you the back.
Yes, sir.
To commemorate Superman Day, April 18th, 2025. And then we also have the World's Finest trade signed by Mark Waid. There's a great story with art by Dan Mora. So,
and all you need to do, guys, is give us 3 more entries of hashtag Stash Wars Live. We got a great comment here by Jewish Dragons. And it says here, to me, the best Snyderverse movie is Man of Steel. But the best part of it are the Kevin Costner and Diane Lane, Russell Crowe performances. I kind of wanted to learn more about his parents. Wow, that's crazy. You know what's funny, though, Jewish Dragons? I agree. I thought that Man of Steel was there's a lot of Snyderverse movies. I say it's in the top 3. Because if we're throwing Shazam in there, I'm giving Shazam some props because it was comic book accurate.
You didn't like Wonder Woman?
Huh?
You didn't like Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman 1 was okay. Wonder Woman 2 was not.
Yeah.
I thought Aquaman was comic book accurate, or quasi. It kind of followed Jeff Johns' story, so I thought that was cool. But I gotta say, first impression wise, Henry Cavill as Superman and Man of Steel, Russell Crowe as Jor-El was my favorite. The best part of the movie to me when they were on the ship and he learned about the origin story, and then Russell Crowe's Jor-El was sick. I thought that was good. And yes, I did like Kevin Costner. I thought that was a good comeback movie for Kevin Costner because he wasn't like around for a while. And so I thought Kevin Costner as Pa Kent was cool. And what's her name? Diane Keaton, right? Diane Lane was a good Ma Kent. I thought the movie was a little too long, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie. It's just that they followed it up with a trash movie in Batman v Superman. That's what happened with that. They took something good and made something bad. I thought they could have improved Man of Steel. I thought if they would have did a Brainiac story or something, That would have been cool. But yeah, there was a lot going on with the Snyderverse. What was the dude's name that played Lex Luthor?
What's his name?
Yeah, he normally had curly hair, and he
Jesse Eisenberg.
Eisenberg. He was not a good Lex. Matter
No.
of fact, my man, yeah, Jesse Eisenberg, yeah. My man from my man from 2.5 Men was better Lex Luthor. John Cryer was a better Lex than Eisenberg, bro.
Yeah, John Cryer was cool.
CW Lex was better, bro. Like, and he had a beard. Lex was rocking a beard. I like John Cryer though, because John Cryer is a good actor. But I'm just saying, like, Snyderverse, there was a lot of L's and not enough dubs. That's what I'm saying. And so it was worth scrapping. And think about all the wins that James Gunn is racking up. So to me, if this Superman movie is decent, I think it's a win. Do you think it's going to be good? In conclusion, do you think that the Superman movie is going to be good?
Me or
yeah, I'm asking you. Do you think? What do you think?
I don't know, man. The trailers, I'm trying to kind of stay away from the trailers because I'm not sure about that scene.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know about Metamorpho. I don't want to see trailers. I don't like, dude, they spoil too much shit.
Yeah, so just give me the movie in its full form, and I have hope for it. But yeah, I need to see what there actually is, and so
yeah. Me, I'm cautiously optimistic, like most of the chat has been saying. But like I said, I'm a big James Gunn fan. Creature Commandos was the shit. What's his name? The bot. That bot episode, dude.
Yeah.
That was the dopest thing to me, dude. Where he was with the Patriot and then he messed around and he fucking around and had to kill some modern Nazis, bro. Like that shit was that was a chef's kiss episode. Yeah, Creature Commandos was lit. So James Gunn, and then somebody said that Peacemaker is premiering like a couple weeks after Superman, so they're doing it right by keeping the momentum going, right?
Yeah.
With theatrical releases. So yeah, there's that. Okay, now we're gonna talk about. I hope SEG's here because SEG is gonna be with us next week, and I'm going to foreshadow since we're still on 6 Layers updates. Next week, what are we going to be talking about, Stash Fam? Oh my gosh, we're going to be talking about. Here you go, and you got to think about this, Mark. So this is a foreshadow for you. You got to bring 5 bangers from your collection that represent your best writers. It could be best writer, best writers, but you got 5 slots. You got 5 slots to show books. Okay, who's this in the comment? I think Superman will be better than Fantastic Four for sure. I'm hopeful. I'll be there just because of crypto. Now, I did mess around and accidentally saw that they got a female Silver Surfer. And so people got their panties in a bunch for that. Right? Am I mistaken with that? People don't like the female Silver Surfer?
Yeah, people are.
Put it this way. Somebody mentioned they made the Penguin a woman in the animated movie, or animated show, Batman on Amazon, the Cape Crusader. For that story or writer in general? Oh, great question. Writer. So the theme, I'm glad you're keeping us focused, Space Case Collectibles. Next week's theme is going to be about writer. Okay. Who are the best writers to you alive? All right. It could be multiple. It could be one. But you got 5 slots to show representations from this writer. Now, we've been giving a lot of artists a lot of love. So now is the time for the writers now. So next week, we're talking about writers. So look at this. Mike knows about Marvel movies versus DC movies. Yes. What's the world coming to? I don't know, man. There's pigs flying, SEG. Like, no. So, hey, SEG, I'm glad you're there. Like I said, you got 5 things. It could be art. It could be anything from your collection. Comics, art that represents that writer's work, that writer's creation. It could be a creation. It can be whatever you want. I want to have it broad where you have some room for interpretation, but it's to showcase the writer's resume, their pedigree. I want us to showcase who you think are the best writers in the game or writer. So to go back to Space Case Collectible, for that story or the writer in general, it can be your best. Some people, their favorite writer wrote their favorite story, and their favorite writer is all in that world, right? And then there are people that have read so much that they followed that writer's career where they know he did some shit or she's did some shit over here and over there, right? And they can cross-reference their success, their hits, their misses, right? And so they can say, you know what? This writer is one of the best in the game, right? Or this writer is just got lucky and landed and did a bunch of projects that you appreciate. So it's really up to you, but it has to be okay. SCG has a question. All right, I'm gonna leave this to Mark to answer this question. Do you want it to be all time or do you want it to be current, Mark? Current writers or all-time writers?
Let's do all time.
All time SCG. So we're gonna do all-time writers. You got 5 slots. Now it could be representation of the same writer. So it don't have to be 5 writers. It could be 1 writer, and you got 5 things for that 1 writer. It could be, you could break it up and have, 3 things from 1 writer and 2 things from another writer. You can have 4 writers, and you got, and then you got 1 for another. I mean, you got 4 things for 1 writer, and you got 1 thing for 1 writer. You can do however you want to do it. But the goal is to showcase something, because we're trying to educate people. Part of our job, guys, and I know we talked a lot about movies and stuff, and we're going to talk about that from time to time. But we're trying to get people reading comics and understand why the comics are good. That's why we interview people, and a lot of our interviews deal with their process and their motivation behind them writing, how they got in the industry and all of that stuff. And so when we interact with you guys here on Friday, we want to know why you read and why you collect the things you collect, what you think is good, what do you think is suck. We want people to know the temperature of the community. And so that's why we come together here on Stash Wars Live. So next week, we're going to have a 4-panel, okay? You're going to be here next week, right, Mark?
Yeah.
So we have the 6th Layer, Mark the Honorable Villain, the Southern Comic Geek, and then we're going to have Carl from Carl Collection. And this guy, I saw him on the CAF Plus YouTube channel, and Bill Cox was, the host Bill Cox was interviewing him and showing his collection. And I realized this dude was a DC guy. He kind of collects the same way I collect. And, and I'm learning all the stuff through the interview with Bill Cox. I was like, yo. And then when we first had our first live with SCG, he joined the chat. And so I was like, oh, that's that guy and he had like freaking Death of Superman or OA and stuff like that. So like he had like crazy stuff. So I was like, dude, he would be a perfect panelist for Stash Wars Live, next week. So we're going to have a 4-panel discussion talking about the best writers in the game, the best writers all time. It is up to you. Okay. But you got 5 slots. Okay. So that could be art. That could be comics. It could be assortment. It's up to you. Okay. So that's next week, next Friday. And I'm just giving us one last Chance. We're still stuck at 3. We're stuck at 3, but I think last week, Mark, we were at like 9, maybe
Really?
10. Yeah, we didn't unlock last week. Unfortunately, unless somebody can hit somebody up in the next 5 minutes before we sign off. Man, it's been great, man. We've been on for 3 hours and 15 minutes, Mark. It's been crazy. You go ahead, show them. I'm gonna blow. Come on, guys. You guys can win these Superman Day sketches. And I'm repeating, this will not be a part of a giveaway after tonight. But we appreciate all the people that have commented, that have called in. We appreciate it all. We have a ball every Friday on Stash Wars Live. And Mark, any closing words, anything you want to say, any updates or things that you're going to see, anything like that?
So I want to say good luck to Superman for being a good movie, man. Hopefully that's a great movie. We got to see how it turns out. It looks like Fantastic Four is going to be a good movie, man, and I'm excited to see that. Hopefully they threw a lot of Kirby love to that. I don't think I'm doing anything this week. I don't think there's any events this week. But look at, man, we already have 2 callers. We have 3 prizes. You know, we need 3 more. So
we need 3 more, man. We need 3 more, guys. We're trying to linger on to try to give some stuff away to you guys because we care about you so much. Hashtag Stash Wars Live. We need 3 people to use their hashtag to give away to unlock the prize. And it's going to be when we unlock the prize, guys, that day we finally unlock, it's going to be a hallelujah moment. And what will you guys win? It might be something crazy. Because we've been giving out good prizes, right? Like, our prizes have been good. Let us know how our prize, Space Case, how have our prizes been? Jewish Dragons, let them know how our prize has been. Testify for us. But all we need is 3 more, guys. That's it. You know. But yeah, what else I was going to ask you real quick? Just real quick. So nothing really going on right now. But any reflections over the past week? So this week we had Eric Larson on Six Layers. So guys, check out our interview with our first image co-founder. And we're going to have more, by the way. But Eric Larson is our first image co-founder that's ever been exclusively interviewed by us. And what are your thoughts about the Eric Larson interview?
I thought that was one of our better interviews, man. Eric Larson really shows his love for his work. That's one of our first image founders, so he gives a little insight about how Image works as a company and everything, and what the image founders' roles are, the remaining ones. So like Mark Silvestri, Todd McFarlane, Jim Valentino, and Eric Larson. And man, if you're a fan of Savage Dragon, go watch it. If you're not a fan of Savage Dragon, go watch it, and you might become a fan of Savage Dragon.
Yeah, man. Like, I didn't know that much about Savage Dragon, to be honest with you. And then I started like looking through the art, you know, as I was getting the graphics ready for the actual show edit.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, this is like a ratchet ass like comic, bro. It's like it's really ratchet in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like graphic. It's, you know, it's adult. I didn't know it was adult. It reminded me kind of like Black Kiss and like the art style and how they, you know, suggest things, you know, and
yeah,
I thought it was interesting, and I'm going to check more out. But it was a great interview. I 100% agree with you. Eric Larson was very laid back, very chill, very much a West Coast kind of spirit to me, and I thought he gave us a lot of insight. I thought he was very candid. I really think you guys would appreciate that interview. So check out our Six Layers from this week. It just dropped yesterday, so you can. Right after this live, you can check out our interview with Savage Dragon creator and co-founder of Image Comics. And we talk a lot about Image Comics, by the way. check out our Eric Larson interview. We're still trying to get 3 more entries. Hashtag Stash Wars Live, man. We want to give these sketches away, these Superman sketches away. If not, they're going to go back into the stash because we don't mind keeping them either. But definitely, it's going to be a great week upcoming. And then, yeah, like I said, we got Saber Prasada. We're going to be talking about the MCU, talking about Miss Marvel. Tomorrow I'm going to be on Whatnot, selling signed comics. There's going to be a bunch of bangers. Let me know if you're looking for anything. Is there anything you've seen on the show that you might want to buy? I could throw it on a Whatnot tomorrow. Because Whatnot, I'm giving people opportunities to check stuff out. Also, I will be having a Six Layers will be having a art drop on Comic Art Live. So I got to get my little booth together. So I'm going to be selling some pieces on there. You know, so if you like Batman and shit like that, and you like, you know, cool art, original art and stuff, I'll have some stuff there. I think that's going to be mid-March, March 15th, 17th, something like that. Six Layers is going to be all over the place. So we'll be in the art world. We'll be in the comic book world as well. And yeah, man, we're on YouTube, Home Skillet, trying to give away prizes, trying to give away art right now, you know, but it's all good, man, because I had a great time. So what I'm going to say in conclusion, because we're going to wrap this up, what I'm going to say in conclusion, just to go back to the central topic, I think Superman will get a little boost. It won't be enough to topple Batman because Batman's renumbering and Jim Lee's back in comics. And I think that's going to be just a tough act to follow. Just think about it. A big Superman issue came out this week, the same week as a Jim Lee book. And how often does Jim Lee books come out? So I just think that it's just not the right year as far as comics. Now, don't get me wrong. The comics and the film are two different things. The movie might revitalize comic book movies, okay? It might be a game changer like Batman Begins was. You know, we don't know. We won't know until we see. So as it pertains to the film side, you know, Superman, you know, we're going to see together. You know, there's going to be haters, but then the truth will rise to the top and we'll get objective opinions. But I'm curious to find out how Superman does. And, you know, and like I said, James Gunn, he's doing a solid job at DC so far with Creature Commandos and Peacemaker. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this bowl cut. I'm looking forward to this weird looking Mr. Terrific, but he looked comic book accurate. It just looks very goofy in real life when you see it in person. So, but who knows? He might have like special effects and he may look different. So these might be just like raw versions of these images. But I definitely think that Superman has the potential to do something good for the on-screen DC presence. But as far as it rolling over onto the page, unless Mark Waid kills it, unless Dan Slott is the second coming, unless we get feedback from that, unless Joshua Williamson is, but I haven't heard any buzz, anything bubbling and curdling for Superman, the Josh Williamson stuff. I'm not, you know, trying to be negative or anything, but I just haven't heard any buzz. So who knows? All I know is Matt Fraction. By the time Matt Fraction hooks up with Jorge Jimenez in September, whatever Superman was doing prior ain't gonna matter. By that time, it's gonna be nailed in the coffin. Hush is done. Now you got Jorge back with Matt Fraction. And I hope with this new volume we get, you know, better stories. But be sure, guys, to subscribe to the channel and just give us a like right now. If you haven't liked this video already, if you haven't liked this live already, please smash the like button. We would like our live streams to reach as many people in our community as possible. And I'm trying to build it up. This 15, guys, is a litmus test because eventually Stash Wars Live, we will be interviewing live, you know, some of the best talent. But I want our numbers to go up a little bit. Until then, we're going to just keep doing pre-recorded. Plus, I do like the pre-recorded because we're able to do the, have the production value high. But live is fun because we can get real goofy live, especially with comic book artists and comic book writers and stuff. So we will be having select guests join us on Stash Wars Live. Just want to get everything kind of more boosted. But this is only our 21st show, Mark. I can't believe it's been that many. But we're still new in the game, 10,000 subs strong, so can't complain there. Shout out to David Barron and the process. We're going to be having a new process coming up in May. More details on that. And as always, on Tuesday, we'll be having another Doug Mankey animation. And that I got to just say, shout out to Doug. That's why we got to 10,000 subs so quickly, because of those animations. And so he's been really giving me the honor of chopping these up and having fun with them. And so, so please subscribe to the Six Layer Station. I'm just checking, giving us one last chance. We need 3 more guys. If you just hop on in the chat, please enter Stash Wars Live. We want to give away Superman Day sketches and a trade paperback, a signed paperback of Superman, Batman, World's Finest, signed by Mark Waid. So we're trying to give that away if we get 3 more entries in for Stash Wars Live. All right. And so, yes, definitely subscribe, smash the like button. We'll be back next week, same time, 9 o'clock Eastern. So what's that make it? 6 o'clock Pacific. 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, Stash Wars Live, 8 o'clock Central. Stash Wars Live. We'll be next week, 4 panelists talking about our top writers, and it's going to be an epic Stash Wars. If you thought the stuff you saw tonight was awesome, wait till SCG come back. Wait till Carl come back. Wait till Mark come back. It's going to be crazy. So next week, you're going to see a whole other onslaught of stuff. Working on a few of my friends to get it. All right, cool, man. Space Case, we're here for you, man. Tell them we need 3. We need 3. I'm gonna requote this, man. Use your hashtag, guys. 2 sketches, man. Hashtag. See, that's what I'm saying. We're trying to break this record, man. We're trying to break the record. Let's go. We're trying to break the record. That's what we're trying to do here. But while that happens, while we see if we can get some friends in, I wanted to say that, so next week we got an epic Stash Wars, man. I can't wait to see what Carl brings to the mix, what Jason brings to the mix. And I don't even know what I'm going to do. And then we also have been tasked to do our top 20 signed comics. So that's going to be 2 weeks from now, because I'm going to need that much just to curate a list. And I don't even know where I'm going to go with it, to be honest. 20, that's not enough. Like, I need like a top 100, but 20, top 20, oh my God, it's going to be so tough. Because, like, I even do like sets as like 1. So if there's like Death in the Family, I don't look at part 1 as a comic. I look at part 1 through 4, all 4. I need all 4 done. So like picking which one of those 4 that's going to be in a top 20, that's going to be hard. So it might just be covers, or it might just be like, like a key, but it's going to be crazy. Like, okay, so DeClaw, shout out to you for suggesting that. And if you guys have any other suggestion for show topics, throw it in the chat. What do you guys want us to talk about in upcoming Stash Wars Live? We are not shy to talk about the hard-hitting comic book issues, man. I got a whole list of topics, but I really like what DeClaw mentioned, because it really makes me have to curate what's going on back there and in the Stash Lab. So I got to check that out. Use your hashtag. I'm going to give Space Case friends a couple more minutes because we winded down. But Mark, next week, I have a feeling we're gonna have some other dope Stash fan picks of the week as well. So I think we're gonna see some stuff. So stay tuned on that. Also, let me put this up right now because I haven't put it up all day and I need to. Definitely okay. You can't see that there. 1 second. One second. Oh, we got a comment. Indie book picks, Mark. Mark, that's on you, baby.
Let me see what. Let me see.
Hold on,
I'm
let me
pull
hold
it
on.
up right now. I like to hear about some indie book picks.
Yes,
So,
yes. So be curating that list, Mark. I just wanted to put up our handles, guys. You can reach us on Instagram. Marcus, next time put your handle up. But you can reach me and Mark both on Stash Wars Comics at Stash Wars Comics on IG or Six Layers on IG. Either one. Six Layers on IG or at Stash Wars Comics. You see it on the screen right now. Give us suggestions. If you want to send in pics of your collection and have us show it on the Stash Wars Live for Stash Fan Picks of the Week, that's another good way to reach us. Show us something dope. You got something new in the collection? Show us. Hey, if you got something from us, take a picture. We'll definitely show that as well too. We'll do it all here. But if you want to reach us at Stash Wars Comics on IG or at Six Layers on IG, we are still stuck here at this 12, but that's more than we had last week, Mark, and I'm happy for that. Thank you to all the people that have commented, called in, subscribed, liked the video, man. We're just, so grateful and thankful. We'll be back next week. Be sure to check out our interview with Jorge Posada. Be sure to check out our new animation that I chop up from Doug Mankey. And be sure to check out our 4-panel discussion next Friday on Stash Wars Live. Mike the Sixth Layer speaking for my man, Mark the Honorable Villain. We are out. Peace.